Welcome back, everybody, to the Cannonbull Podcast. I am your host, SaintJorge, and today I am joined by Colonel Senpai and Sir Governor Shlumsky, aka Mono.
Hey, hey, hey!
Today we're gonna be talking about The Ghost Rider, the movie that came
2007.
out 2007, starring Nicolas Cage and Eva Mendes. Um, you know,
Smoking!
we recently checked it out and we just say, hey man, let's check this out and talk about it. You know, uh, break the nostalgia, see what this movie what it really is. We're gonna talk about that, guys. If you find yourself enjoying the video, leave a like. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to the channel. We always do reviews, we give our thoughts, we rant about pop culture. And yeah, this is what we do here.
Sometimes
know?
we cover goofy movies like Ghost Rider.
Yes, very goofy stuff. Very goofy. So goofy, in fact, that soon we'll be covering The Idol. Gonna check that out.
No,
Gonna check
please.
that out and give you guys our thoughts on that. There's like the scene there that The Weeknd says a line. I'm praying it's
No.
not real.
I,
I'm
I,
praying
I,
it's
I
not
don't
real.
even want you to talk about that, bro. Like
I'm
that,
sorry.
that show doesn't exist. I'm
What are
sure
we
of it.
talking about here?
That's a government op, bro.
Wait,
You don't know The Idol?
You don't know about The Idol, man?
Hey, bro. You know what? Stay the way you are, man. Please don't
Yeah.
actually find out more.
So don't sign that contract, bro. Don't sign that contract.
what did I
Hey,
say?
that one.
Okay, I will stay.
That
on my
one.
idol.
Yeah.
You're not a human being. You're a star.
So Ghost Rider, follows Johnny Blaze, a stuntman who sold his soul to the devil to save his dad from cancer. But then his dad died because he got cured of cancer, but he wasn't gonna be invulnerable to anything. So the very next day, his dad died. And so as Johnny grew up, um, the devil was watching him and eventually came to collect in the form of him asking Johnny to become his Ghost Rider and go out
Well,
there.
I mean, I don't think they really name drop him until the very end when he says, "I'm the Ghost Rider."
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think he just says, "You'll become the rider."
Ah, hmm,
Like they normally
interesting.
just refer to him as the rider, is what I mean. Like I don't think he actually gets like explicitly
Yeah,
name
so
dropped as the Ghost Rider.
Didn't like in the beginning when Carter Slade is narrating, doesn't he mention you become the rider, the Ghost Rider, or does he just say the rider?
Um, Again, like what I'm also trying to talk about. Like I just get that impression because I wasn't paying too much attention to his narration because it sounded to me more like fuller narration. Oh, legend has it then in the West, and it's just like, all right, bro, shut up. I don't care about what happened in the West.
That was so cornish. Like the thing about legends sometimes is they're true, and it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's what I
okay,
mean. It's like, hey, bro, calm. It's not that deep,
okay,
man.
it's not
Calm
that.
down.
So like, what San Venganza? Who named
San
that town?
Venganza.
I need to know your location.
Bro, that sounds so menacing. I can see the menacing guitar playing already, bro. That menacing cowboy music kicking in. The contract of San Venganza.
Bro,
Actually, let me talk about that though. Have you guys noticed that in this film sometimes Nick's delivery kind of it's not like a bad thing really. I attribute it to the goof factor, but sometimes his delivery kind of feels strange. He's like, my daddy told me, and you're like, what did he just? What did he say? What did he say? Let me put my headphones in. What did he just say?
yeah, he
My
does
daddy told me,
sometimes seem.
yeah. And you're like, damn, bro, like, open your mouth. Why are you doing that 50 Cent thing of like not opening your mouth?
yo, nah, I did not have to go that far.
It's almost like that scene when they're in the bus and then they turned off the TV and they're like, Johnny, you should be taking a big nap after that tumble you took. And he's like, I'm fine. And they're like, nah, man, it's something else. You got an angel watching over you. And then he's like, then he turns to the bus window and he's like, or it's something else. And the thunder strikes and you see like a
And
skull thing on his
the
face. And
skull
it's like,
silhouette on his face is like, oh, this is so edgy. This
it's
is
like,
so
what is
edge.
this?
The edge is insane. Look at all that edge, bro.
Oh man, I just cut
Might cut
myself.
yourself watching this movie, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, they really
Uh,
try to like drive it home. Some of the age they really do.
and that's like that
But
early 2000s age. That isn't the kind of
Yeah,
edge you find today, bro. That's a different breed of edge.
that's like what Dwayne Johnson tried to do with Black Adam. Yeah, it's like that early
honestly,
two
if Sasuke would
thousands
have just, just jumped
badassery.
out of someplace like,
Yeah.
my name is Sasuke Uchiha, and I want, and
And I'm the next rider. The Naruto meat rider.
I am going to
yo,
kill a particular person. After that,
yo, man, I do appreciate the when he transforms the Ghost Rider scenes. Like the Ghost Rider has like really. I like how they made it that almost as if they like a separate entity, and the Ghost Rider has like his own little like cool lines that he drops sometimes. Like
I
obviously
actually
the
have the
nice
opposite to say
jacket,
about that. Not
very
really
nice
that I
jacket.
dislike it. It's just jarring. Um uh but the one thing I actually wanted to kick off with is when his dad dies, right? So for
Mm.
those of you who don't know about this movie, get a life. Anyways, his dad dies, right? And then he like drives away.
oh, I think it's
Why does he drive away
um,
again?
Uh,
Because his dad must like his dad like I don't know what like that accident was so bizarre, bro. I felt like I missed the whole movie. And he like drives to the ring, and then we must hear the crash sound from Johnny's perspective, young Johnny. Then Johnny gets there, and the ring of fire is just completely destroyed, and like everything is just a mess, as if like a nuke went off in this small little tent. And then his
like
dad
he
is just
just fell in
laying there.
fire, and yeah, like he died and shit.
No,
And
but
it's
I mean,
like
like the previous scene that you see, you clearly see the dad is like slightly slipping off of the bike as he goes through the middle of the ring. But the next scene seems to imply that he just straight up hit the ring of fire or something like that. So it's like, it's just a bit bizarre, right? But point being is that his dad is just like, oh, I'm alive, I'm still alive. And then Johnny's like, Dad, you're still alive. And he's like, nope, I'm gonna die now. Ugh. And then he just dies. And then he looks off to the side because Satan just starts laughing. It's like, hey, dog, why you
I I
laughing, bro?
I did find it like for me it seemed like he just dropped dead. Like there was
Yeah,
he
because
just
he was
dropped dead.
alive until Johnny was there. Like he looked Johnny in the eyes and just dropped dead. It's like he died of what? Died of like disappointment. He's like, oh, you didn't get the goal. What the f, bro?
It's like Johnny, you actual simp.
But I mean, like, what I'm also getting is to like, why did Mephisto even laugh? Why did he even reveal himself, right? Because the goofy part is then Johnny drives somewhere. Where was he driving? Where was he gonna drive? He got in like
I'm not
what's the
gonna
name of
lie,
the bike? Grace.
Grace.
Yeah, like he gets on Grace and he's oh, and then Mephisto flashes in front of him, and then he crashes. It's like you're no good to me, dead. It's like then why the f did you scare him into falling off of the bike, bro? Like what's your damage? Like I know you're the devil, but come on, fam.
And
Like,
then like that's the scene where he gives him the Ghost Rider powers, I think.
but also he erases his memories, but he doesn't, and that's what I was gonna get to, right? It's like you reveal to him you killed his dad. And then tell him, oh, but I can't have you having connections to your dad because that could get in the way of our relationship and this deal that we have going on. So I'm going to erase your memories, forget your family, forget your friends, forget what. And then he gives him the powers, right? And it's just like, actually, no, he didn't wipe out his memories, even though we got a flashback of those memories on fire or whatever through the
Yeah.
ghost vision. We got his memories like in the orange ghost vision, but then he didn't erase his memories.
Which they
It's like,
seem to enjoy doing.
yeah, but it's just like I got so confused because it's like if you feel it is in your best interest to keep your relationship with Johnny good, why kill his dad? Like I'm not trying to give the devil advice, right? But if I were the devil,
Okay.
I'm just saying I'm not gonna do stuff like that. That sounds dumb. Like I'm gonna keep his dad alive. I'm gonna keep him nice and cozy because the thing is, we get the scene later when he tells him, "I, bro, time to be the rider." He tells him about, "Oh, I made you famous, bro. Like remember the fans, the money, the video games, the bus tours. That was me." So it's like, but you killed his dad.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to flex with, "Oh, bro, I made you wealthy"? Like you killed his
It's like
dad,
if
bro.
you dude, I don't want to work for you. Now what?
And then he's like, but you don't have a choice.
And then he just gets on the bike, and the bike like takes him
The
to
And the
that
bike seems
weird
to have
ass
a
city.
personality and a life of its own. It's just like the bike's kind of
Yeah.
a douchebag.
What do they call it? The hell cycle in the source material.
Oh, I just call it the hell bike.
They call it the hell cycle, and then the Mexican Ghost Rider has the hell charger because
Yeah.
whatever,
But
whatever.
yeah, going through the movie, I guess chronologically, are we supposed to assume that Mephisto kind of anticipated Blackheart's rebellion, and that's why he made Johnny the new rider?
Oh, I it could be because
Like,
like
I'm
the
also
back,
I'm just asking, what is your interpretation of why he decided to make Johnny the rider?
I got the impression that like every so often he will make a rider to do his dirty work, so Johnny is just next in line.
But like the thing is, if you're gonna say next in line, doesn't that imply that there should have been someone else who's already the rider currently? Because if it's
Well, isn't
possible
it
to
like a?
make multiple riders, why the F are you making one every generation?
I was gonna say, isn't it generation of generation?
Yeah, but we know that there's another rider who's currently a rider.
Yes, and I don't know how he is a rider. I don't know how he could only transform for one time. That's a whole nother can of worms that we're gonna open. Like,
Let's get some semblance of chronological order.
I
yeah,
kind
that's a whole
of
can of
Colonel
worms to open
Senpai, do you have
afterwards.
any
in
thoughts?
time. I kind of took that as like how in what's the show called? Boku no Hero Academia. Um, how All Might is able to like how All
One
Might
is
is able to
siphoning power
still
from the
be a
other.
hero while Deku is the current holder of One for All, and eventually the spark of One for All is gonna leave All Might forever, and it did, and I kind of just took it as that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Well, that's stupid in Boku no Hero as well, so I don't think it's a good defense here either.
It just doesn't make sense how there's two, because they literally said in the beginning, every generation there is a rider, right? And so I kept that, I committed that to memory. And so when Carter Slade came on screen, I was like, wait, you
And
also that guy
also,
that has the fire horse, right? So why are you still a rider? Like, how
and
does that
also,
work?
you said that the last rider was 150 years ago. So I'm not sure if that's a generation. Maybe I missed the memo that like the new update, Earth update lifespan has been updated. But
Yeah,
I don't know about generations lasting 150 years.
because unless like, because like it's like he kind of like kept himself alive for this day, and it's like after that, did Mephisto make
And
no more
it seems
riders?
to imply that him transforming for that last time burnt whatever's left of the life force that kept him here. Which to me, the first thing that came to my mind, again, I know I'm skipping ahead, right? But I was like, man, if I was him, the first thing I do is like, oh, Savanganza's 500 miles down. We better get moving. It's like, and it's like, yeah, bro, you're giving me a lift. I'm getting on the back of the bike. Drive. Like that's what happened, bro. Like then I whistle to my majestic ghost horse. And then when we get there, he's gonna be like, hey, wait, you're a rider? And it's like, yeah, bro, let's fight now. Let's go, bro. I want to throw hands.
Yeah. Yeah, so but
But
going back to like a chronological sense, right?
Johnny gets the
Blackheart,
powers. We skip to a couple of years later. Johnny's a very, very, very successful Daredevil guy. He's
yeah.
unrealistically, he's got supernatural success. Like
Also, little
everybody
little
is vibing
trivia,
with this.
little trivia for you guys. In the comics, Johnny Blaze or the Ghost Rider does not like Daredevil because he believes that that name would be suited for him and not Mad Murdock. So just
That's
some
facts.
trivia
That's
there.
facts. He is a Daredevil.
Yes,
And like, what's Matt Murdock? He's just a guy
He's a
who's
lawyer.
blind. Like, come on.
he's a man without fear. Let's get that out the way.
Well, Johnny Blaze is a man without fear.
You cannot live in fear. What was that all about?
All right, okay. Let's quickly get into that. Like, we all over the place here, but just what's your guys' thoughts on like Cage's portrayal of Johnny Cage? Because Johnny Blaze, listen here,
Johnny Cage. Let's go.
Johnny, because I had a very hard time picking up on what Johnny's personality is, his viewpoints is. I'm not looking for an in-depth breakdown, right? It's just that I didn't like, like most action movies gives you a general idea of what the character at play is. Even something like the Terminator, right? Like you get an idea of like the T-800, like his personality. You cross something for the little bit of pieces that is dropped down, right? I don't want to compare it to the Batman because that's unfair. The Batman has way more character work, but it's just that like it feels in one moment Johnny Blaze is like really aloof. He doesn't care about anything, you know. And then the next moment he's like this goofy like theater actor. I command the fire within me to do this with the
That was
spirit
very
that
weird.
possesses this body. And you're like, what the hell's going on here, bro? And it's like, I don't like drinking alcohol. It gives me nightmares. It's like, what?
Yeah, doesn't drink alcohol, prefers these little candies. He's I don't know.
He likes watching cartoons, and it's just like it feels like this guy's just like an insane person, or Nicolas
Well,
Cage for short.
well, Nicolas Cage did say, right? He said instead of a hard drinking and smoking badass Johnny Blaze, he wanted to give him more depth. So he played someone who's more like he
Psycho.
has like, yeah, depth of character or something like that. But
I don't
to
think he
me, it
had
just
depth of character. I think he was confusing. I think that's what
to,
happened.
to me it came off as it came off as like they were trying to make him seem like add, but going about it the wrong way of adding depth, right? It's like, okay, there's a like you just making him have different weird like stuff that he does on the side or personality traits that just don't fit who Johnny Blaze is or who this character was portrayed to be in the beginning of the story, you know?
Mhm. Before I get into what I want to say, I want to ask Senpai, what is your thoughts?
Ah, I'm just thinking of Johnny Blaze. I kind of liked how they were like saying that, oh, the guy who has like a lot of guilt is like punishing others by making their guilt come to the surface. But at the same time, like, okay, he's got guilt, but like, what are you doing to portray that? Because all I see is people like saying, "Oh, dude, you do remember that your dad died years ago was not your fault." Like, what? Why? What are you talking about? Like, yeah, I get that's the thing that Johnny will like struggle with, like, because he signed a contract and he believes that his father died because of him signing the contract. So I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, like, but don't you think that that's a bit curious? That feels more like a meta line, right? Because when his friend comes to him and says, "Yo, JB, you know your dad died all that years ago. That wasn't your fault, right?" Don't you think that Johnny is being as cynical as he's being portrayed in this film? Don't you think he would probably respond with, "No, he did die because of me,"
Instead, he did
because
not.
that's what he believes, right? Like, regardless of if we want to argue, is it true, is it not true? That's what he believes, right? He believes that his dad died because of that contract, because of the intervention of Mephisto. Otherwise, why would he
Mm.
do that classic point that he keeps doing throughout the film? That weird point that he does.
Why does he do that? Why does he do?
Is it a comic reference? Maybe I don't know. I wasn't alive to
No,
read those
I
comics.
no, it's not. Like,
Because the
why does
writer
he
does
do
it as
that?
well, right? The writer does it as well. He says, "You innocent."
That's just something Nicolas Cage added, bro. That like, what is
Probably.
that?
Probably, but I mean, like, the point I'm also trying to get at here is just that it feels to be like he's portrayed as very cynical, right? I don't think a optimistic guy would do stunts deliberately to try and get himself killed just to see is the devil actually keeping me alive or not. I
Yeah, he
don't
kept
think
doing that
like,
the whole time.
and I mean, like, for me, if they just explored that, I think that would have been depth, right? This kind of really cynical guy who's like who believes simultaneously people need to get a second chance, but at the same time has this idea that like maybe they don't, right? Because I'm living the life that I'm living, and he says it himself, right? Suffering every single day because of that one mistake I made, right? So
I
it's
think
like
even asked his friend, like, do you think people deserve to suffer for
that
like one mistake they made?
exactly right. And talking about the whole thing of the second chance, I think that's the depth that should have been explored instead of I eat jelly beans, bro, and I like watching cartoons. It's like I'm not sure if that's depth. I think that's just normal person stuff.
I just think there was like
Yeah,
stage, actually, like, this.
He
Okay,
was in
let's
his
just
Dracula bag.
he was
uh,
doing Nick Cage stuff. Yeah,
Exactly. I feel like that's why I'm asking what you guys think of the portrayal of the character by Nick Cage, because it feels more to me like Nicholas Blaze.
yeah. What I was
basically.
gonna say is that I think it was more like there was the character, and then there was Nicolas Cage, and what we saw was like a combination of the two, but more Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
because I mean,
especially lots of the speaking lines, like the way he would deliver, like Mono said, the line delivery, the way he spoke, it's like this is just Nicolas Cage pretending.
having something of like I guess a southern twang into his voice, but even that is like on and off ish.
Yes, indeed it is. I spent a majority of the movie trying to figure out what city he was in. I just couldn't figure it out. I think it's
Australia.
Vancouver. Was Australia?
It was filmed in Australia, so I'm just saying.
So what
But
the? Wow.
remember when he was on that on the bridge with the bike when he drove onto the bridge and
Ah.
jumped into the water?
Oh,
That's very Australian. I've never seen that anywhere else.
cause like then what type of city were they trying to make it be? Like what the hell?
It
Wow.
seemed like they were trying to go for a New York type of feel,
I
but
think they were just trying to make a fictional city, like they give that fictional city vibe. You know, like how they do sometimes, where it's just like, oh, you never seen this city before.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but the scene where he comes back to the crime scene, air quotes, where he rode the bike and burned the road, like that little small narrow road. All the news reporters were there. There were like
Yeah.
police lines.
Mhm.
I noticed so much how that was a set that was built. I don't know if you guys noticed how that it
Oh no, there's a
clearly looked.
lot of like really interesting practical effects. I'll try and get into some of them if I do remember. But one that I just probably want to say now because I might forget. When his first transformation, all of that is basically practical until it becomes completely CGI, right? Like for example, his shoes being on fire, that was actually on fire.
And the bike, the wheels sometimes they were actually on
Yeah.
fire.
So like that for
That's
me, that was
crazy.
interesting because I looked at that, I was like, man, that looks so realistic. How like when he's stepping and it's on fire and it leaves the devil's footprints behind, and it's like, hey, that looks cool. And it's like, no, that was
Yeah.
actually fire. I don't know what
And
kind of fire it was though. Like maybe it's like that cold fire.
I don't Nick I think Nicolas Cage like he was on said, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if like I start laughing while transforming?" And they were like, "I mean, yeah, sure, do you?"
Do your
And then he
thing,
did
bro.
it.
Just do your thing.
Cause that's just so Nick Cage. Like, what you laughing at, bro?
Yeah, because apparently also he was um like he painted his face. They painted his face for the rider scenes, right, so that they could cover it up with CGI at a later point. So like I can imagine him just doing a bunch of those weird faces for reals,
It's just
like
so Nick
that we
Cage.
will never see, that we will obviously never see. But it's just like he's probably going all in because it's Nick Cage.
That
yeah,
guy, that guy.
oh yeah,
Um,
the first transformation scene for me that was like peak transformation scenes. Like that was one of my favorite transformation scenes like all time. And
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I only laugh at that scene. I don't have any. I, I have I like the effects. I like the thing where he's looking at his hands and it's going on fire. But as soon as he starts to, then I'm like, all right, you know what? I have to laugh with now because this is silly.
My favorite transformation scene is when he's with Carter Slade and he gets on the bike and when he revs the
Exactly.
engine, he transforms. That
Everything from
is cool.
from that part, right? From just that specific like 20 chunk of the movie. That's just they could have made that the whole movie and I would have been fine.
Bro, like when he smiles when
It
he gets on like
just
woof, and I'm like, yo, let's go, bro.
because he like I like that he just puts on the hat and he transforms and is like, can you keep up? And then the horse is just like, bitch.
Watch me move. Turns on fire.
Then
And I'm
it,
like, oh
it
man,
goes on fire. Then it's like, all right, okay, let's ride.
nah. And like the shot where they riding together, the horse and the
Oh
bike,
man,
like
and
side
that
by
poor
side.
iguana that dies. He had to die for the sake of it, bro. He made that scene so much cooler.
Man, that was so cool. That was a
That
nice
iguana was
little
minding his
one
own
move.
business. He got roasted. I was like, you know what? That's a worthy sacrifice just to show us just how cool these guys are.
Hey man, the hardest choices require the strongest wills.
But anyway, anyways, let's try and go chronologically. Yeah. So he becomes a very successful daredevil guy, right? He crashes,
Mm.
doesn't die. It's a very deadly looking crash. It looks pretty bad. I was like, man, is that a real stuntman that did that? That looks wild.
I
Like
think
when
I
he like
wonder
hits his
about
head
how many
against the
stuntmen
wheel,
were
it's
used
like,
here.
man, that's visceral.
And he flies
Um,
back and he knocks his face into the like the barrier of the arena. Helmet
yeah,
cracks. Crazy stuff.
and you know, like that's an example of what I mean. Where it's like Johnny Blaze being cynical. I'm not sure if that was Nick Cage or if that was like supposed to be portrayal of the cynicism of Johnny, right? Because when they're like, JB, hey JB, you okay, JB? And it's like, is the bike okay? And it's like, hey, he doesn't even care about his life. He's just like,
Yeah.
bro, is the bike good though?
I,
You
I
know,
did like how they reacted, like the crewmen. They were like,
ah,
"Yeah,
this
nah, he's
guy,
okay."
this
Yeah, like
oh,
yeah. It's like
This
this is
guy.
yeah, he's like he's fine. Yeah, this is totally Johnny.
Yeah, but that kind of makes me feel very weird when he then starts to like talk about you can't live in fear, you can't live in fear. It's like, bro, you almost died, and your first instinct is the bike. Okay, are you sure you're even living in fear? Like, why do
I
you
keep
have this mantra?
wondering. I keep wondering why he has that mantra. What does he mean by you can't live in fear?
But I guess that can quickly transition into this thing that I have a feeling of, right? Do you guys get the impression that this movie has a very I want my cake and eat it too kind of vibe, right? It likes to have this thing where there's like almost like not like a higher power, let's not say that, but like the supernatural force that's keeping things together. I alluded to it as well with Mephisto saying that, like, oh, you're the cheering fans, the wealth, and all that stuff. I did that, right? But the thing is, he also seems to imply that, like, there was something that attracted him to Johnny to begin with, right? But then also says that, nah, he made Johnny what Johnny is. And it's like, which one is it? Earlier on as well, it's like, forget your family, forget your friends, and then gives him the powers and stuff. And then it's like, what was that supposed to have done? Was that supposed to have erased his memory or no? Because you then left and didn't tell him to forget those people. Why was he supposed to forget them? And for Johnny, when he's listening to Mephisto, right? Mephisto's like, oh, tomorrow morning, your dad's going to be okay. I think any normal person would be like, what are you talking about? And it's like, nah, sign the contract and your dad will be okay. It's like, my dad's dying right now. What do you mean tomorrow he's going to be okay? But Johnny
Mm.
seems to want to sign the contract as if he knows that, oh, he has a suspicion that, nah, it will work if I do it though, right? But I don't know, like, because the devil's purring in his ear, there's like, "Grrr," doing that demon purrs where his mouth changes and stuff.
Bro, that thing was weird that him and Blackguard keep doing where they keep showing teeth. It's like, can you guys like stop doing that? What is that?
Yeah, like they're just purring or something like that. They're like, I don't know what they're doing, man. Like they're revving
I
the
have no
engines.
idea.
Grrr.
You reminded me of the scene where Carter Slade tells Johnny that like, oh, you're unpredictable and like you have God on your side or
You
some
exactly.
weird
That's what I mean. When like
boo
they
squash
want
like
to
that.
have
It's
their
like,
cake and eat it too. It feels weird what they're trying to tell us. There's nothing concrete like that. What you just mentioned. It's like you didn't do it out of greed. You did it out of love, and that makes
that
you
means
unpredictable. That means God's on your side. And it's like, what the f are you talking about?
I do like look. I don't know because the source material does say that like the Ghost Rider is sort of like a divine entity in a way, almost like our Spawn is like a divine-ish entity seeking vengeance in the name of a higher power. But it's like
Mhm.
it's still confusing how they go about explaining it. It's not very
It feels
clear.
more like something, like we have it quite often where writers regurgitate. Oh man, the dog. Give me a sec.
No worries. While we take a break, please enjoy this ad. This video is sponsored by nobody because we still are yet to get there and have sponsors that interrupt the video every 10 to 15 minutes. And
But
then we
why
explain how we like the
enjoy the
product.
Coldplay music, by the way.
Yeah, we explain how we like the product and how like we have a code that's like our channel's name slash the website and you can get like 15% off um and then you can like start your trial and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, what do you think about that, actually, Colonel? About this have your cake and eat it. The weird explanations of like, no, you are in
I could try and give an
bad.
example of what I mean when I'm saying like it wants its cake and it wants to eat it too, right?
Mm,
If you recall, Johnny, when he first meets Mephisto grown up now and stuff like that, he's like, you were real, almost like that was the energy he gave off when he was looking at him. And it's like, yeah, I am real, I did all this. But then he was like also trying to kill himself to prove whether or not the devil was real and did those things that day, right? It feels bizarre that Johnny would both believe that the devil wasn't real, even when the devil's standing right in front of him, but also he believes that he is real because he keeps trying to crash and die to prove that this guy exists and he did what he did that day. It's like, wait, does he believe the devil exists or not? Because he seems to
mm.
think that that day never really happened. When he meets the devil himself, it almost seems to be he all but says that, no, you don't exist, you're not real, that nothing, none of that happened, but actually did.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, there is like a part of dialogue where the first time is basically telling Johnny's like, "Oh, you did all that. Like, I did none of that for you, right? You did all that on your own. I mean, you're the cheers." Johnny, Johnny.
And then also he says, "But I'm also the one who did all of it, by the way."
Yeah, I know that. Okay, so did you do it or not?
Yeah, you get this thing of like Johnny is talented as a stuntman, but then it's also a thing of like no, actually Mephisto makes him talented because he can do all this death-defying stuff.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
need you
because
alive, Johnny. You're no good to me
e-
dead.
exactly. It's like, like that's what I mean. It's like there's this eerie vibe that the film gives, where it's like there's this supernatural force that's supposed to be tying all of these loose threads together, right? Johnny can never die because Mephisto keeps keeping him alive, but actually maybe he can because Blackheart is like, "I'm gonna kill you, bro," and it's like, no, no, he can't die. The movie said so, and then they
He
hang
can't.
him,
I'm gonna kill you.
and and then they hang him on the chains and he dies, and then Kanti doesn't die. Then they hit him with the truck and they're like, yeah, now he's dead. It's like, don't you guys know his powers? Because you guys know what a penance
I
day
kind
is,
of,
right?
I kind of like that, like that how like weirdly goofy that scene is, where like the like Ghost Rider piece is like, oh, looking for me, and they try to choke a skeleton, and I laughed at that so hard, and then the truck like crashes into him, and then like Blackout does that, ooh, like with his face, and it's like, dude, he's not dead.
But that's what I mean, right? Like, it's like they know all of his abilities. They are aware of the penance day, right? That's why Blackheart mocks him. He's like, hey, bro, penance day don't work on me. But it's like he doesn't know that you can't kill the Ghost Rider.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
like weird for me because I was like thinking, yo, bro, you do know that it was your father who sent him off to you, and you know how powerful your father is. Well, not for us, but I mean, like, you know that your father is very well, vengeful, I guess. But anyway, I was gonna say is that you know that this is, according to you, this is your father's strongest weapon. So why do you think your father's strongest weapon is gonna be so easy to take out?
Yeah, just hit him with a truck. It almost makes you feel like, oh, so if Ghost Rider hit any of them with a truck, they'd be dead too, right? Under the same logic, right?
Yeah,
And
nah.
also, yo, I just gotta like bash
But
those guys.
they give mad video game minion vibes, where they're just like, oh, you killed all my friends.
No
They
cap.
not me though. They not me, bro. Put them hands
Like
up.
like every like he would encounter them, he would kill one and then they'd leave. Then he'd kill another one and then he'd leave. It's like, oh, this is the boss fight for this level, for this chapter of the game. Fight the
Yeah.
sad guy.
Yeah, and I would
Um.
like to like dive a little bit deeper into that. Yo, those guys are terrible teammates. Cause yo, they saw their teammate was like being wrapped up in a chain, and he was shouting, "Help me!" They were like, "Ah, it's fine, dude.
Which is
I'm
another
gonna
example
go."
of the movie being like it wants its cake and wants to eat it too, right? Because Mr. Wind and Water and Blackheart are like, nah, I don't want none of that. I'm out, deuces. But
I
at the
want the
same time, they're like,
smoke.
nah, random ads, bro. Fight me. It's like, which one is it, gents?
Please
Mr.
have
Like,
mercy. Oh, out of
all out of
mercy.
mercy.
Kind of like that line.
Yo, I don't
Like,
know
Mr.
why, but I feel like I could
Blackheart
have
could have like
like
run the hands there already, right? Why did he leave? Was he just and in such a hurry as well? Like he just teleported out of there. He was like, nah, bro, I'm not fighting this dude. He survived getting hit by a truck. Did you see that? I can't do that. Y'all know about Truck-kun? Y'all know about Truck-kun? Hey,
nah. Uh, anyway, I was watching that scene. I was like, "Yo, guys, jump him! He's one guy. Y'all are four.
fight
You
back,
have the
nigga. Fight
numbers.
back. Fight back,
Fight
nigga.
back, nigga.
Yo, nah, jump this guy."
They couldn't
But
jump him at all, bro. And why did the wind fallen angel thingy magic demon look like Bob Marley? I don't know about y'all. Like, why I love Bob Marley?
this guy. Why do I feel like this is ancient conversation you've just opened up again? I feel like this is something we talked about like in 2009, bro. Like legitimately. Like
For
we
real.
mentioned this as a bunch of 9-year-olds just sitting around like a bunch of sand and be like, hey, that guy kind of looks like Bob Marley. And it's like, yep, he does.
Because for real, like this guy, like he out here, like looking like Bob Marley. I don't know what for.
What happens afterwards? He must drives away, right? Right
Afterwards,
after
he
after
drives
he murks the
away.
guy, oh yeah, doesn't he encounter the sister who's getting robbed?
Yes, and that's when he uses the penance there.
I had no idea Rebel Wilson was in this movie. So when I watched
I
it,
Right?
think
what
I
the
did. I did.
that
I feel like there was a
what the hell is that?
conversation we had. I'm sure of it. We had a conversation where one of us mentioned it. I'm sure of it. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, she is here. That was my impression.
Mm,
But
yeah, no. It took me a while to figure out that, like, hey, that's Rebel Wilson, and I was like, no wonder she look familiar.
I'm going to hit this with a glass cannon real quick, right?
All
So
right.
I want to know from your guys' perspective, right? What are the injuries he has sustained before the stabbing? Because you obviously know what I'm going to mean by me mentioning the stabbing. What are all the injuries he
Mm.
sustained? He was strangled by a bunch of chains, got nuked by a truck,
Yep.
and then got stabbed. And the next
And
morning,
they was stitching up the stab.
yeah. And the
Mind you,
next
the knife
night,
melted
he
after
gets
coming into
blitzed
contact with
by
this
bullets. He
hellfire
gets just,
bone thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Also, when he woke up, like he still like touched his neck. I think I could see some visible scarring. I don't know.
yeah, but that was what I was going to get into. Are we supposed to assume the damage from the rider transfers over to damage to Nick? And if that is true, which we do see it to be true, how much of the damage? Because again, the next night he falls off of a skyscraper on his bike and gets unloaded on with a bunch of machine gun rounds, and he's fine the next day.
Man, this is the thing that like kind of I wouldn't say
Like
pissed me
I
off,
just
but
mean,
like
why would you introduce that concept? Oh, he can get hurt as the rider, and then that injuries transfer over to his human self. Like, why would you do that if that's never gonna be a thing again?
exactly. A
It's
lot
like
of
the
times,
Flash with the calories. It's like, why did you do that?
yeah. I don't like when powers are introduced and then they don't stay consistent. It's kind of
All
weird because then it's
weaknesses
like
are
is this
introduced.
like is
Oh
it
yeah,
like plot convenience or something?
yeah, guys. It's kind of something I also want to like talk about, like I don't want to say it's like the dichotomy of power and weakness, but kind of like how those two things are kind of like linked to each other. Like specifically for Blackheart,
Mhm.
Dude's power at the beginning not that great, which actually like makes me confused because
But
I
still higher
legit
than the riders because he can jump the rider and just walk away from it.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like wondering, okay, what's his power? Because they were like thinking, oh no, they like by him touching you, it like fills you up with sulfur or something. Like yo,
And it
that is power.
freezes you.
I went to Google like search for that power, and I'm like, yo, I don't see no sulfuric touch here anyway. Decay touch, nothing. Like, yo, what was that power? So I was like thinking, okay, maybe that's just like a Bible reference, because that
There's
shows
a
us
lot. No,
like
I think one of the things that kind of makes this movie almost exempt from like trying to dissect it is that it is very much a product of its time. This is very early 2000s action movie kind of vibes, right? Nothing that is being said really matters in the grander picture of things, right? You will have something like Johnny say, drinking alcohol gives me nightmares, and we never really see him get any nightmares. So it's like, what was that all about?
Yeah.
was the topic of a product of its time. I'm gonna come back to that a bit later. But what I wanted to talk about, like the how power and weakness is
Weakness.
linked. Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, like when he's not at his most powerful, Blackheart, he has no weaknesses. Like he's that opinion
He
that
stated
goes like
that.
yeah, the ghost the opinion doesn't work on him. It's like I have no soul to burn. I starts laughing across his face. And then as soon as he gets like a whole bunch of, he becomes the most powerful he's ever been. I'm assuming, and we are legion, for we are many.
Why did he
I feel
speak
like
like
you're
that?
just rushing. I feel like you're rushing to this point. We were supposed to build up to that point, Jay.
Just get to it, man. The
All
editing
right,
also
let me get my time thingy that I got from Kang. Sort of wind a little bit, turn it back. I we are now like 10 minutes earlier or less.
We've undone the last 10 minutes, do
If you were
over.
typing a
Yo,
comment, like don't type it like wait again. Oh, somehow alter it in a different timeline now. Because time is spaghetti, don't forget that.
it's actually retrocausal, right? It goes both ways.
Yeah.
oh, okay, then I guess I'll talk about the front of its time. Did you, with the
Um,
music specifically, did y'all also get like the sense that yo, this music sound like it's like like if you shut your eyes, you can feel and you listen to the music, you be like, is this Superman? Is this Spider Man? Is this the Matrix? Because yo, I was getting those vibes the whole throughout the movie, specifically when like Johnny was driving his bike. The first time he transformed, like, whoa, wait a second. It's,
I
Those
think
those opera vibes.
I think I'm also got it as just it is a self-indulgent action movie of like the early 2000s. I'm not sure if it like I don't think I really got that superhero vibe. I'm also got the vibe of hey, you guys recognize the song, don't you?
Mm. I maybe I didn't pay attention to those because all I kept hearing was like the country-ish, Western Texas Ranger type songs that they kept using. You
No,
know?
there is like that those like really heavy metal vibes they also try and introduce every so
Oh
often.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm also be with. It's like a very
Funny
self-indulgent action
story.
movie.
This is gonna be like a side note, but there's a score that plays when Mephisto first appears in the carnival when Johnny's a teenager, and I've
Hmm.
had that score in my head for such a long time. And there was
Hmm.
one time back when I was like 17 years old or 16. There's a game called Six Guns from Gameloft in the Play Store. It's also a Western,
Hmm.
and every time I played that game, I had that score in my head, but I did not know where it came from until I watched Ghost Rider recently, and I found out where it's from. So that was kind of like a surreal full circle moment. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's really weird.
Yeah, no, there's also one thing that my mom likes to rant about how healthy as a horse doesn't make sense as a like a metaphor or something to her, right? She always views horses as like they're not very healthy creatures. They seem to be a very much of an asshole to deal with. And when I heard Papa Blaze mention that,
I'm
hey, bro,
healthy
I
as
feel as
horse.
healthy as a horse, and then die, I was like, man, this is where that rant from my mom started. This is the exact point. I can trace it back now. 2008, we watched this. And then she was like, hey,
Oh
bro, horses aren't
man.
even that healthy, man. Like, they aren't that healthy. These things can drop dead from even just being scared, man. Like, they aren't healthy.
Isn't there a pun or like a saying or idiom about dropping dead like a horse? Or am I just
I mean, I don't know.
hallucinating? I'm hallucinating.
Weasel, it's the Weasel timeline, bro. You're remembering the stuff from the true timeline.
You know, it could be. Speaking of time, this is the Ghost Rider came out the same year Spider-Man 3 came out, so that's a fun fact. Another fun fact.
Oh, you
But
can see how edgy this era was, eh?
goddamn, bro. What else came out in 2007? Did Fantastic Four come out? I can't remember.
Didn't
That was
Transformers 1 come
2005.
out?
2009. No.
2000 Transformers
7.
1.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. I think you're right. No, you
You know
are.
what should
It
have
has
played at the end of Ghost Rider 1?
don't say it. Don't say
Linkin
it.
Park.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, God.
Oh man. I knew he wasn't gonna say it. The moment he said Transformers, I was like, there's always gonna say Linkin Park, bruh.
Come on, bro. Like, imagine him riding off into the sunset.
Didn't they feel like a weird ass country song?
Oh.
But okay,
But
back to
yeah,
the
okay.
story.
He's in the church. He finds out about like some like basically, we already spoiled who the guy is, but
Carter
um,
Slade. Yeah.
yeah, no,
He's
I
not the
mean,
he's
but
the caretaker in the beginning, like before you know.
yeah, let's pretend like we didn't say that. He's the caretaker guy. We don't know who this guy is, but he's like the suspiciously wise old man, right?
Yeah.
Talking about contract of Salvanganza, Blackheart, and the Angels, and the penance there. Every rider has it.
And
He just
this is
knows
hallowed
everything.
ground.
They can't come here. Suggest you stay here. He's talking about all
Yeah.
that stuff, and Johnny's like, I gotta go check something. And then he goes to the crime scene. Now, I wanna know from you guys, do you guys believe that his tires would have left tracks in molten ground?
Mm, I mean, if the
Because
ground
that
is
that
molten,
that, that that's what the police say, right? They say, "Oh, we got your tire tracks on in the street," and it's like, I don't know, man. It feels to be like there wouldn't be that much tire tracks.
wouldn't there just be like a line of burnt, dried
Yeah, right.
burnt,
Like,
like
because the
tar?
way I imagine it is like, you would be able to like it would be like for me almost as if I put my hand into like a pile of snow, and then someone's like, "Oh, Mano, we found your fingerprints on the scene." Like from what? From the snow. It's like, whoa, you found my fingerprints in the snow print I left in this. Wow, dog. Like, are you sure about that?
Very strange.
It's strange. Maybe.
Like it's just like the fact that they got the specific tire tracks in molten like asphalt. It's like wow. And he was going over 300 miles per hour. Like, are we sure that it would leave tracks at
And
that
apparently
point?
his license plate fell off also.
And everything, like cars were melted from that. How did the license plate survive?
Yeah.
I got
Also,
no idea.
one thing I found weird about that whole scene, like, um, as cool as it was, I was always thinking, like, okay, so why isn't this happening on a consistent basis? Because you saw the dude without the hell flames was burning like the road, but as soon as he was like in Ghost Rider mode, when he should be burning tire, I mean, like burning what
Yeah, like his bike on rider form is way more powerful than it is when it's in the rider form.
yeah,
Exactly.
it was weird. I'm like, yo, how is this thing not like causing that same scene, causing things to go flying past and people burning, blah blah blah.
Probably a nitpick, but like
Also, okay, go first.
just gonna say like there is in that same scene where he's driving quickly through that road. There's a
Mhm.
part where he melts the parking tickets and the cars, right? And then there's another scene where like he drives past and then nothing melts.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
like
it,
why isn't anything
strange.
melting?
Um,
Weird effect choices.
you know what? I'll leave this point for a bit later. Anyway, so Nick goes to this place. I'm not sure what he's trying to check, right? Because that's what he tells Mr. Groundskeeper. He's like, I gotta go somewhere. And it's like, that's a bad idea. He's like, it wouldn't be my first. And he's like, where you going? I gotta go check something. And then as he walks outside, it's like, why'd you make the deal? And he's like, what does he say in response to that? I don't think he
Does he
I
does he
don't think he
even
really gives an
reply?
answer. Because
Yeah.
then old man is like, what does he say after that? But what did it cost you or something like that? What did you lose? What did it get in return or whatever something? And then Nick is like heartache or something to that
Yeah,
effect.
yeah, 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 yeah. He says, what'd you get in return?" And then he's like, "Heartache."
Ah, because like for me, it's like when you think back into the like jumping into the future, right? We find out now Carter's like, oh, I was in jail and he got me out of jail. And it's like you better deal with the devil to get out of jail.
That's some kind of get out of jail free card. I'll give you that.
Like I
Yeah,
I know he was supposed to be hanged, right? Like that was the
on the
point, right? But
gallows.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, but it's just like so what did you expect Johnny's thing was going to be, right? Like because you asked what did he get in return? What did you get in return? Oh, you didn't get hung. It's like what? That's
I
what I mean. Where
bet you,
sometimes the
like, if
dialogue
they,
leads nowhere. Like the dialogue leads nowhere. It's like what is happening here?
I think sometimes they say stuff just to make it sound a certain way. Like, oh, that's a bad
Yeah,
idea. Wouldn't be my first time. And it's like, oh, badass. It's like, wow, okay, sure.
calm down. All
Yeah,
right.
you know?
But yeah, so like Nick Blaze goes there and he checks on something. I don't know what he's there to
Yeah.
check on. Again, it's like the dialogue is so weird. It's like I have to go check on something, and then from there, where does he doesn't go back? He goes somewhere else,
Probably,
right?
it was probably just for him to like bump into Roxanne, for him to like kind of like have that exchange about the night before he left her hanging for dinner.
Oh yeah, when
Um,
she wrote him and stuff. She like he was just a phase. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, my dad was right. You were just a phase. And he's like, you know what? You know what? Fine. You can just, it's probably better that you just leave, bro. It's fine. Like, you
and
should just go.
and then he goes home and starts like reading books and he's like the elements and stuff and it's like wait you just have
How
books
does
that are relevant to your exact specific situation.
exactly how are there books about the Ghost Rider?
Like that would be like if Colonel Senpai were to be just sitting here and then somebody's like, "You're a wizard, Colonel," and then he goes to his room and it's just like the one spell that allows you to fly is known as Wingardium Leviosa, and he's like, "Ah, yes, let me use this spell." It's like how did you find? I mean, I guess they tried to set it up was like, oh, he's reading very strange books, right? So we're supposed to believe that he maybe had an inkling about these things already, and maybe this was what he
Hmm.
was supposed to be checking on. That what he said to the groundskeeper, right? That this is the thing he wanted to check on, right? And that's why he came home. And then Roximo shows up, and then she's like, "I'm sorry," and
What
they
I
do
said
a
wasn't
kiss.
very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they do a
And then
kiss. She wants segs. He doesn't want to give segs. He say, "Go home."
yeah, I should walk you to your car. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
better that
and then
way.
she's like, "Oh, you want to date me? You don't want to date me. You want to kiss me, but then you want to chase me away. What's going on?" It's like you won't believe me, and then she says, "Try me."
And then she's like, "Yeah, I sold my soul." He's like, "I sold my soul to the devil."
I sold my soul to the devil.
And then she's just like, are you serious? And it's like, I mean, he did say you wouldn't believe him, and I don't know why he's not defending himself, right? It's like you just made a
He's just
fireball. Maybe try that again.
he's just letting the conversation like ride out and for her to think he's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Nick Cage, right? How does he defend himself to not look crazy?
Man. And then she's like, "You know what? I'm not doing this."
And then
She leaves.
she leaves. I'm not exactly clear as to what happened next. Is that we skipped
It
the
it
ball
what
scene
happens
with
next is
Blackheart.
what happens next is like Blackheart
He's chatting with Daddy. No, that happened also at the ball scene earlier.
yeah, there is that bar scene. What about the scene where nah, that's later. Where he goes to the church. I forgot what the church's name is. St. Michael's, I think.
Um, Now that's a wee bit later, I think. Not that
No, no,
much later.
no. Johnny gets arrested because he's outside. He goes after her, and then he gets arrested, and then they go interrogate him.
Oh, so then the father already died. The pastor guy, he
Yeah,
already died
yeah, yeah,
because they link the deaths, don't they?
yeah.
Or
They
is
link
is
all the
that
dates.
is that the groundskeeper that they like just killed for no reason?
The
3 years
the the
from
the
retirement.
the thingy one. Yeah, yeah. That's the one that they said he was 3 years from retirement. You know,
Oh yeah, it was
and now he's
him,
dead.
and then the people, the angels in the bar, that they then arrest Johnny and they say, "Hey, bro, look, this is you did all
Only
this.
only angels allowed in here. And then like
You,
Blackheart say,
you got a
always
problem with
like
that?" I don't understand what
people are
that scene
always
was
like
supposed to do.
giving these lines to Blackheart that he has to respond because he is like a demon, like the one where
Yeah, to be
Roxanne is
really
like,
edgy and
which is like Jesus Christ, and he's like, not quite,
yeah.
or not even close. And
Um,
it's like she wasn't talking to you. What are you doing?
but like even that scene with the angels, right? The guy's like, "Hey, you're not welcome here. What, you're deaf?" And it's like, bro, you didn't even finish your sentence. That was a comma. That was not a full stop. That was a comma in your sentence. What do you mean? Oh, you don't belong here. What, you're deaf? And then he's like, "Only angels allowed here. You got a problem with that?" It's like, what does he say? As a matter of fact. And
I do.
then he stabs him and freezes him to death. And he's like, "I do." But it's like I really wish that, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm glad that this isn't really that much of a trope, but I really wish that people try to make like villain dialogue a little bit more dynamic, because maybe this is me trying to be like a very overzealous and over confident writer type, right? I would probably have the villain just be like, "As a matter of fact," and then freeze the guy and walk in, right? Like, let the audience fill in the rest, because we know he's saying "as a matter of fact," dot dot dot,
Yeah.
and we know that he's supposed to be a demon. At least that's the
Hmm.
implication, you know. But we have that scene. Johnny gets arrested, and he's just like, they're like, "You're under arrest. Can you come with us or whatever?" And he's like, "Okay." And it's like, "Nah, bro, resist. Be like, nah, why am I being arrested for what?" Like, they need to tell you these
It's
things, don't
it's
they?
it's like this thing of like them trying to make Johnny
Quirky.
unbothered, aloof by certain things. I'm telling you, I didn't kill those guys.
And then they're like, "Oh, we found your tire tracks," and he's like, "Yeah, but I didn't kill nobody." But yeah, so he's like, he admits to being at the scenes of the crimes, but then says, "But I didn't kill nobody." And it's like, dog, why are you doing this? Why,
Yeah,
like, you
because
don't
they're
have a
like, no,
lawyer?
you were there. But like, nah, yeah, like, where's the lawyers, bro? You got money, so like,
And it's just like a lot of that scene is just bizarre. Like, they do the classic, "Oh, I know what you guys are doing. You're doing the good cop, bad cop." It's like that's literally in every like arrest interrogation movie now, where it's like, "Oh, you're doing
yeah,
the good cop, bad cop thing," and it's like, guys, like, maybe don't point it out anymore. We all know, we can all see what's happening on screen, man. But
yep,
I do like the effect that they're kind of trying to give where it's most, because we do know that he gets hot when he is about to transform. So they're like, "Hey man, it's getting hot in here." And it's like, "Yeah, yeah, I guess it is getting hot in here." And then he lights
yeah.
up the cigarette, tries to light it up, and then he's like, "Whoa, that
The
was weird."
flame goes to Johnny's like, it's like that. Okay, that was weird.
And but it's just like, again, it's a bit bizarre because it's like no one was acknowledging anything weird going on. Like it would have been nicer if like a bunch of weird stuff were happening, right? And again, Johnny's like really aloof to all of it. He's just like, nah, I'm not phased by this. And they're looking at him like, bro, did you didn't just see that happen? He's just like, I don't know what y'all talking about, bro. I didn't see nothing. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say nothing until my lawyer's here, man. And then when the lighter does it, then he's like, okay, no, that was weird. That was weird. I'll admit that. That one was weird.
And then they take him to like one of the cells, and as he's walking to the cells,
He
he's
starts
starting to
losing his
react
mind.
because he's in the presence of evil, you know. And keep in mind that Johnny can only transform into the Ghost Rider when it's at night and he's in the presence of evil.
Or when he has control, which by this point he claims he was already grasping control over it. So I don't know.
And yet,
I
and
don't
yet,
know.
he
And
gets
and
thrown
then
into a
this one
cell.
dude just rocks up to him. Let's just call him Brutus, right? And Brutus walks up and he's just like, "Hey, when I was a kid, I paid for you to splat, and you didn't. So now I'm gonna steal your jacket." It's like, bro, who are
Yo,
you?
I was
What?
like, yo, did this happen when you were
Where
like
did
a
you come
child?
from? What's the beef, bro?
I really don't know what's wrong with that
Like,
guy.
I
He's so
paid for you to
unprepared.
die and you didn't die, so
So
now
I'm gonna
I'm
steal
going
your
to kill
jacket.
you.
Damn, bro, you got some problems.
You're the real supervillain, bro. Are you sure you're not Blackheart? Like,
I'm sure
damn.
Blackout would tell him like, nah, bro, you need to take my place. You
And
something
then
else,
one of the
bro.
other guys is like, "Oh, it looks like this guy's tripping on drugs or something. I'm going to beat him up now." It's like, what's wrong with you guys? What's wrong with y'all? What are you
I'm
in
not
jail
gonna
for?
lie. Some people like in movies, some characters like Joker, they just like aggro for no reason, bro.
For
They just
no,
wanna for no reason. We're like, yeah,
bro,
nah, I'm
like they
gonna beat you up,
possessed by the
stab you now.
spirit of evil or something. They're like even the way they engage is like, "Hey, are you Johnny Cage?" And I mean, Johnny Blaze. I don't know why I'm just doing that all the time. He's like, "Are you Johnny Blaze?" And he's like, for some reason, Blaze is like, "Nah, bro, that's somebody else." It's like, nah, you look like him. It's like, why are you trying to hide who you are? Like, what's like, did you do something, bro? Wait, hold on, bro. Johnny, tell us, bro. Talk to us. This is a safe space. What did you do, bro? Why are
What
you
did
trying
you
to
do?
hide who you are?
It's like, nah, I don't want any trouble, fellas. It's like, nah, fam.
Nah, you look like him, bro. You look like him. I paid so you could die and you didn't. So catch these hands.
I
It's
think
like,
it's this
who
thing
are
of
you guys?
people trying to portray that like people in prison are just like for no they just want to
Just
fight for
unreasonable.
no reason. They just want to like you'll just stand there and be like, oh what? Nah, let's stab him though. Let's stab him though. He's like
This
sitting
feels
funny and
like
it's like, damn.
this feels like a skit from The Simpsons, right? Because I think there is like that one where it's like, look, guys, an old man is talking, and then all the kids just kind of go around to try and listen to. I think it's almost dad at that point in time, but it's just like it feels like the same thing where it's just like, hey guys, it's Johnny Blaze. I'm mad, and then a nigga moment just activates and they all just start fighting.
uh
Now I'm just like thinking, yo, when he
hold
transforms,
on.
yo, Johnny
So
can't
it's just a bit
get back.
bizarre.
Oh, well, that is a nice jack. Very.
Yeah, so but yeah, like easy. We can hear you
So,
now, Colonel.
sorry, senpai, say again.
Nah, I'm saying, yo, man,
What you mean he got his get back? You telling me a demon from hell has to beat up a bunch of guys in prison because they paid $10 then he died and he did it? It's like, come on, bro. Come
Like
on,
imagine
man.
I went to
Like,
prison,
I'm
this
just
demon
saying,
beat me up, bro. Like
like,
damn.
imagine what Peter Parker would say in this situation, bro. What would Peter do?
Eish,
Like that
something
this would be
funny,
something
bro.
that Peter would never want to talk about again.
bruh beat him up for
Something
like
funny.
over $10 that happened like years ago, and then ruined his jacket. So I'm like, thinking, hey, I'm just you know, what's that? That-
And he
Nice
just
jacket. Very nice jacket.
took his kicks, took his everything, and left. And he
And he
told the
told
one
the kid he's
guy,
innocent.
"You're innocent." And I was like, I mean, I don't know the circumstances behind his arrest. He might as well not be innocent. We don't know. He's in jail of all places. It's because he was like, guys, don't beat him up. Don't beat this guy up. It's like, oh, because he's a normal human being, he's innocent. It's like, yes.
I was also thinking to myself, yo, if this movie was made in today's climate, oh my gosh, that scene would have got everyone in. At least some people in like cheers. They'd be like, oh wow, see, this guy was wrongfully imprisoned. Justice system for the take that L, guys. Justice system, take that L.
And then
But
his bike is all like, I'm gonna be a menace to society for a second. And then he's like just kind of spooks a car
I'm gonna
guard
scare
guy.
the security guard, yeah.
Yeah, and then like Ghost Rider like gets knocked in
Yeah,
the
no,
face
that,
by a cop or something, and his jaw comes off.
And then he just tells him no. Like, what was that? Like,
I was
you
like,
know
this is
why?
such a goofy scene. What's going on?
This whole scene, this whole 20, 15 minute scene, 10 minute scene, it's
Like,
just Ghost Rider on vibes, bro.
yeah,
That's
bro,
all it is.
it's so silly. And then he puts his jaw back on and he drives away and he destroys the thing and makes the garage become rage. And it's like,
He
oh, the message. Oh
he
man,
drives
what?
onto a bridge, he jumps off into water, drives on water, shows a middle finger, laughs, and it's like this is just vibes, bro.
So at
yeah.
this point, I would like to ask.
Before we go on, I just want to
Okay.
take a moment to point out, like, dude got whacked by a cop. Was that like what was that? Like a knife baton, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
his jaw is dislocated. I'm like, yo, bro, how is that doing more damage than the truck you just got hit by the previous night before?
You
Nah,
see, the thing
I
is
need to check that.
the
I need to
spirit of justice exuding from this cop just managed to get through. That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's
know
the
man,
so
thing.
the Ghost
You don't
Rider's
get it
durability is inconsistent.
as hell.
where did those gloves come from? Because I don't
As
remember.
I
He
said,
stole it from the guy. He stole it from the guy with the jacket.
I know the jacket, but I'm just like wondering, yo, where the gloves come from? 'Cause I don't remember seeing those things.
from the guy, no?
From the guy. He stole it from the guy.
I need to check that again because
No, like
somewhere.
they
Brutal.
specifically show the scene of him putting it on and then the spikes coming out of the gloves.
Yeah, I know that part. I'm just.
I think it was a cool detail, personally, how like when the spikes were coming up, they kind of look like they overheated, like they're heating up and then
Yeah,
they
like
heat up.
he's heating and remolding them.
Yeah, that was kind of
That did
cool. I was
look
like,
cool.
nice.
I think maybe what you're talking about, Colonel, are you talking about the part where he's putting on the zip of the jacket? Because I think that part he didn't have the gloves yet when he's zipping up the jacket.
Oh yeah, I did still see the bony fingers.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
you guys talk. I'm gonna try and open the movie because I'm thinking now. What about the scene when he's actually I can do something even more efficient. But there's the scene where he's supposed pulling when he's opening the cell, he's melting the cell bars.
Right.
That like way I think should be continuity wise after everything. So if he has no gloves there, then it is just my guy. Where did those come from? Cosmetic upgrades he got midway. You know, he did a couple of side quests.
Just a small nitpick, but after he melts the bars, he does this thing where like he does this thing with his hand, like he's throwing something off it. It's like, what are you doing? Is he putting the fire out? Like, what is he doing?
I guess it's supposed to be like a lighter thing when the fire is out.
But yeah, like, the cops chase the Ghost Rider throughout this weird town that's a mixture of Australia and New York. Uh, we're gonna call it. Give me an Australian type of like. We're gonna call it New Wimbledon. Okay, New Wimbledon.
Yeah.
So we are on New Wimbledon, and like they're chasing him around.
Now
He
he
ends
has
up
the
like
gloves. He has the gloves in that scene. He already has it on.
he's got it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I just started looking at that scene as well, and I saw him like zip up with the thing with his hands, his own hands. Yo, whoa.
Yeah, but then he has the gloves immediately after that, so that makes sense because the gloves is the last thing we see get spiked up. So continuity is fine. You're just trying to nitpick or nickpick.
And then this guy's chasing him, and there's like he goes at the building, and he's like, "Sir, the suspect is going up."
Oh yeah,
And
when
it's kind of worse.
he's like, oh, way easy right now or something like that, and it's like, oh, he's going down
Oh,
alleyway. It's a dead end. We got him, and he's like, okay, copy that over. And then he's like, where's the target? And he's like, going up. And it's like at this point, that's the question I want to ask. At this point, does any of you think that maybe if you were in the situation, you just maybe like take your badge, put on the hood of the car, take your gun, put it there, and just say, hey, gents, I'm going home. Yeah, I don't think
I
this is
trained
worth
to
it.
be a police officer, not an
No,
exorcist.
exactly, bro. Like they see a guy drive on water, and they were like, "I call in the SWAT. They can take care of this." It's like, no, no, bro. He's on fire and can
Ah,
drive on water. Maybe you should reconsider your existence at this point.
oh my god, bro! It's always funny. Like I mean, in all movies where there's something like supernatural happening, they think, "I call the army, bro. They'll take care of it.
And the
Call the
thing is,
SWAT."
that the main cop guy, we see him say, I don't pretend to know what that thing is, but we gotta catch it or something like that. It's like, bro, relax. You don't know what it is. Go home, man. Like, live your life. It's not worth it. Just
You have a
go there, bro.
family, yeah. Go home, bro. This thing's driving up a building, and shame this guy cleaning the window. Like The Ghost Rider
Like
drives
the
past the
helicopter
window.
driver, he knew what was up, bro. He was like, you're pissing me off, and then he was like, yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, bro. You know what? Let's just
Just throw me away, bro.
just
Do it. It's fine.
respectable, bro. Like now that you've said that, you've convinced me. I wasn't convinced seeing the giant flaming man, but now, now I'm convinced.
It's so hilarious how the Ghost Rider is a jerk sometimes, where it's like he's trying to catch the wind guy, and there's like you don't seem to like you're not a fast learner, Rider, and then he
You
starts
cannot catch
spinning
the
the chain,
wind.
and then he starts laughing maniacally, like I got you down. Huh? You thought I was
I guess
dumb.
this opens the two conversations I wanted to have. The first one, right? I alluded to it earlier as well. I don't like
Right.
the fact that they are unclear about which of the personalities you're supposed to be at play here, if they even different personalities. Because when minutes later, Roxy's all like, Johnny, and he turns to her and he gets his simp fire. His simp fire starts to kick in, and he's like, oh,
my God.
right. So it's just like, hey, like, so this is Johnny. This isn't like the spirit of vengeance. This is Johnny. This isn't like. But then he goes on to like laugh and
Did he
drive
say
away or
something
whatever.
about this in the special effects part of the wiki? Something about like they did that to show that his flames are being drawn from emotion and not rage in that instance. Some
Yeah, that's how I
goofy
call
stuff
it. Is
like
some
that.
flames because it's like it's all soft and it's all like ooh. It's the
Yeah.
kind of flames that you like. You'd be sitting on the bed and your girl comes in and you like kind of get the mood right. So you set the flames to the low. You're gonna get us copyright. Stop that. but
uh,
but like it's just I don't like that because it's like you almost get this impression then that maybe it is Johnny who's at the wheel because that seems to be the question the movie keeps asking. I want to know is it me out there riding? You know,
yeah, making the stunts,
it's
making the jumps.
exactly. So it's like it seems to me like they want their cake and they want to eat it too. It's Johnny, but it isn't Johnny.
There's so much like stuff that if they actually explode it, right, it could be interesting. Is it me riding or not? You know, do
I
not
would
is
really
there
just
need to be
love the thing that
fear?
Colonel I think alluded to earlier, like this kind of really punished guy looking for a second chance, but he's also the bounty hunter of the devil, and he has to like go and take away other people's second chances.
I hope doubt not gonna happen if they do like a Ghost Rider reboot, like they just make it like that. If
In the
maybe they try,
MCU, and then they kind of hire us to write it because we know what we're doing.
yeah, like and it probably could be like a 9 episode Disney Plus thing where like it's just a study of that, him doing
Yeah,
those things, or a special presentation, an hour long.
I mean, yo, Disney, you call us, bro. We can hook you up.
I
I know
like
you
dude,
guys aren't doing good.
I would love to do like a Ghost Rider, like because yeah,
I don't
I
think I would even need to argue for like a M or R rating or wherever you are. I don't even think I need to argue for that, bro. Just allow me to get that edge factor.
yeah yeah, you know,
I mean, obviously the R rating would be lovely, right? But I mean,
a lot
I
of
can
people
work
would
with the
like.
constraints.
A lot of people assume that like if Ghost Rider comes back, he should be R-rated,
I just don't
but
know
they
what
want.
what you would gain out of that. That's the thing. I don't
There's
like.
not that much. There wasn't even that much blood and gore in this one that we're reviewing now. So
That's the point. Like he burns people and stuff. Like what do you want him to do?
I
Like
think it
twist
was
people's heads off?
PG. I think this movie was PG.
Damn, that's wild.
That can't be. I
That's wild.
doubt.
If
I
it is,
think
that's crazy. I mean, most people didn't die in really gruesome ways. So like, actually,
yeah, because I remember seeing this on ETV. It was PG-13 or 16. I don't know.
But I kind of found it funny how as you guys put it, the some flame when
Yeah.
how it turns blue, how they're supposed to be weaker than his rage flame. I'm
Hmm.
like, yo, then why'd you make it two different colors? I get the making them. I get I get the different colors to show it's weaker and more gentle, I guess. But in the end,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, then why you make it blue? Because
because
such a
that's what
simple
happens when a match is about to die. It turns blue.
idea. Just saying. Usually, blue fire is much than regular fire.
No,
Usually, but I guess I don't know.
nah.
Science. Anyway,
Yeah, I guess just a short version I could say is that like color doesn't always indicate temperature, right? I could put like some like I don't know some blood in water, right? You can't tell me oh that water is colder than normal because red water that's the cold water. I don't think that works that way. So like if I just like put some blue paint in a fire and it turns blue, would you then say, blue fire, that's the real hot kind?
Yeah, because depending on like what chemical I think is in the flame, sometimes it can change color. This doesn't mean it's hotter.
Yeah. It's more about what light is being diffused, I suppose. Obviously, the intensity of the flame does influence that as well. But what I'm just trying to get at is that I think that effect is very strongly influenced. Like, even when you go to like a gas stove, right? When you make it real small, it also starts to look like that.
The gas stove where we got like the flames are always blue. I think it's the gas that's being used.
By the way, guys, don't do that with your gas stoves. I don't want it to explode. Please be safe out there.
You remind me of the meme of the guy when they say he's looking at the recipe and they're like, you must use a hot spoon, and then he puts a spoon in the microwave, and then he's like, okay, so what do I do next? And then he just blows up.
That feels like something I would do, because I don't know if you guys ever had that moment where it's like, or like maybe you're putting a couch together or something like that, and they were like, okay, so peg 1 must be connected to point A B 5 or something like that, and you're like, hey, and then you look at the at the couch, right, and you see there's like a little carving A B 5, and you're like, oh, that's nice. Then you put it in, and then it's like, but first putting on a nut and then putting on, you're like, man, and now I need to take this thing out, and then you take it out. It's like, man, I really need to read all the instructions. Like imagine like somebody said like, you guys had to give instructions to defuse a bomb or something like that, and like, okay, so what you need to do is you need to press the red button for 30 seconds, and I'm like, I had 30 seconds, and then but then you need to be able to cut the wire within the 25th second. It's like, oh, I think I've been keeping it for too long. Wait, hold on, let's restart.
Oh, and yeah, stuff like this. Like, okay, you need to cut the red wire while you cut it while cutting the
Everything
yellow
can be
one
explained
at
with
the
a
same time.
SpongeBob meme. In the SpongeBob movie, they have the bag of the wind, right? And then they must say, okay, how do we use it to get back to Bikini Bottom? So Patrick is holding it, and SpongeBob takes out the instruction manual, and he's like, okay, so hold it in the direction that you want to go. And it's like, yeah, then you hold it in the direction you want to go. Yes, holding it in that direction, right? And then it's just like, now facing in that direction, you need to remove the string, releasing the winds. And he's like, release the winds, and then he releases it, and then you need to get onto the bag, and then it will take you to the location you want to go. Okay, that seems pretty clear. Let's try it out, Patrick. And then the thing is just gone. Patrick's just like,
God, bro,
not bad.
yo.
So it's just
man.
like, that's me. I'm that guy. Don't go on adventures with me, gents. I'm gonna ruin everything.
You have to read all this instructions first, really, for real.
That's how I also like get bad stuff in multiple choice. They'll be like, okay, you've got 4 questions, A, B, C, D. Of A, B, C, D, which one looks like the correct question? And I'm like, alright, A looks like the correct question. And then I tick A. And it's like, if we consider these 2 factors, I'm like, no, hold on a second. Maybe it's not A. Maybe it's not A.
It's jumping the gun, bro.
But yeah, so anyone want to have a commentary on the fact that like it seems Ghost Rider can nuke any of the demons, like every single one of them. Like he can nuke any of them. Like I like the fight scenes, but calling them a fight scene is like, man, this is a slaughter. This isn't a fight.
It just seems that his hellfire can take care of anything.
In everything, every single one of them gets killed via hellfire.
Yeah, it's like as long as the hellfire is burning, you can't do nothing.
It feels almost like DBZ. It's like, oh man, I can't beat this opponent. It's like, yeah, but you can go Super Saiyan, right? And then go Super Saiyan and he wins. It's like, yeah, you should have just done that to begin with. Why did you do all the other stuff?
Yeah.
Because like even the water guy's like, oh, I gotcha. Now we underwater. What you gonna do?
We evaporate him.
Yeah, then he was just like, what did Ryder say? He said peekaboo or something like that. Oh, surprise! I was like, surprise. It's like, what do you mean surprise? He knew you were the Rider. What are you doing, bro? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Like, what was the water guy supposed to be like? Oh wait, you're a different guy. Sorry, I thought you were someone else. My bad.
Oh no, the Ghost Rider.
It's like, what do you mean surprised? Like, what did he think was gonna happen? Did he think, oh, you're underwater, you can't transform? It's like, you must have missed out the wind guy. You know,
it's just
that
funny
scene.
Stuff that
he
the
was
line,
underwater.
It's just funny stuff that the screenwriter wants the writer to say that sounds.
It's so silly, man. It's so silly.
Yeah, but moving on, right?
The SWAT are like, let's shoot him now.
They unload on Johnny. The bullets hit, but they don't do anything.
And then he does like his little fire trick. He goes, ha!
Yeah, he raises fire.
When I saw that scene, I was like, yo, nah, Ghost Rider wanna be in Uchiha so bad. He's like basically doing all that dance signs, Okay, he didn't do anything.
I thought he was trying to be a firebender. You different, bro. Me and you just not the same.
Agni
I'm like,
card.
yo, Katon, fire
Ah,
style,
yeah.
fire wolf. I'm like, yo, man, this man is a mother of us or something.
So he
And
drives off, right? He rides off, and he goes back to the caretaker,
you
right?
back, bonehead.
Yeah, it goes back to man's. Um, and I think
And
they
he's like,
start to
they
like,
know who I am. He's talking about like
yeah.
how they know who he is or whatever.
He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Don't you watch the news? What's wrong with you?" That line was kind of funny.
Yeah, I did like that line. That felt like one of the most liney lines of the film, actually.
You don't watch the news? What's wrong with you, man?
It feels like that line from Renfield where it's like, yeah, he won't reach his full. Oh, wow, that's a really weird thing to say. Why would you say it that way? It felt like that
Yeah.
kind of. I was just like, yeah, I like that.
So then the
I mean,
caretaker tells him
he
about
was Slade, right? I really liked.
any scene with Slade. Yeah, yeah. But then this like guy who is not Slade, but he's called the caretaker. He tells him
It's my
about
bad.
he
Spoilers,
tells,
guys.
this
Wait a
caretaker
second.
tells him about a dude named Carter Slade. But
Man,
no,
I ruined this whole scene. I'm so sorry.
Wait a
yo, somebody get Kang on the phone. He's
Yeah,
right.
but he must first. Doesn't he like? He must tell him about like the whole thing with Blackheart. It's like, what does it got to do with Blackheart? And he's all like, "Let me show you." And it's like, Carter Slade, remember him? He's like, "Yeah, he was the one who." By the way, I just wanted to say that's the one line that I kind of quote at the beginning. He was all like, San Van Ganza or whatever, right? And it was like, it was a town filled with evil souls and stuff like that that the devil wanted. And now he gives us an explanation. He's like, nah, there was really nice people, yeah, but the devil like made them greedy with stuff, and then they drowned in their own blood. And it's like, so it's not a town filled with evil souls. It's a town of people who've been misled. What do you mean? What's going on here?
Yeah, I was confused by that too. I don't know if it was the town was evil or the town was made evil or I don't know. It was just a normal old town that had bad and good people, but the devil wanted the souls
No, but the
in.
thing is the way that I almost said the way that the caretaker talks about it, right? He says like it's a damn shame that all of them are stuck there for all eternity till the end of days, right? Kind of implying that they are victims of something. But if they're evil souls, it's like screw them, bro. Who cares?
Also, why they stuck there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and that makes me think, yo, if they are stuck there, how come they are there? Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm thinking about the grave. My bad.
also what is I mean maybe there's something someone can explain. Maybe they took in like references from the lore of the Phantom Rider guy or whatever, the original Ghost Rider person. But um, why can't they just recreate the ritual that like made those souls,
Mm.
right? Made them so evil and stuff. Why couldn't you do that? Like it's only
Yeah,
1,000 souls, bro. Like I mean, the planet has kind of like gotten a lot now. Like if 1,000 souls is like so yummy for both like Mephisto and Blackheart, like why not 10,000 souls?
double it, double the number.
I mean, specifically for Blackheart because he keeps like flexing, like I'm not like my dad. Ooh, I'm not like the other boys. Like he keeps doing that, right? Like why can't he just? He seems to have free reign on Earth, and his dad can't stop him. So just to like make more, and
Because
then
it's
be like
not
all of
fallen,
you. Yes, but he will fall. That's the funny part, right? He will fall.
which is weird because it's like, but he's not a fallen. I mean, he's the child of a fallen, but doesn't that make him a
But
fallen?
he's incapable of falling. He's born having fell.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense.
How do you make someone who's already fallen fall? He's at rock bottom. Another SpongeBob reference.
I don't know. Rick roll him.
Damn,
I'm pretty sure Rock Bottom has a basement and he'll fall there.
damn, rock bottom as a basement.
It was a
The
killer
the Rock
episode.
Johnson. Um, but anyway, so I'm not entirely familiar with what happens after this. This is the scene where Roxanne goes
Johnny,
to Johnny's
yeah,
place, and then his friend is there, and he's
gets a
like,
bite.
"Wah!" And it's like, funny action movie comedy moment. This is so funny because he's scared, guys. Think right? He's scared. It's like, why would he be scared? Isn't this early on in the movie? Because I pay attention. This is the part that hurts. Early on in the movie, he comments to Johnny that you don't have a lock on your elevator thing, right? So like anyone can get in here. So why is he shocked that someone got in here?
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't expecting somebody.
I mean, obviously that's what the scene is trying to tell us. It's just that like, if you feel so unsecure to keep telling your friend, bro, this place isn't secure. Why would you go to sleep listening to music with headphones on in this place?
That's a bad idea.
Wouldn't be his first.
Oh, okay. Okay, wow.
Hold on, hold on. Guys, I just want to like point point out that we kind of like skipped the scene of Blackheart where he was like in the church with
Forgive me,
For I
Father,
have
for I have
sinned.
sinned.
I have sinned a lot. I'm like, yo, bro, yo,
Yeah.
why you need to say it like that?
I mean, for me, the part about that is like if I was that pastor guy, like having the meta on my side, like, bro, like you're a demon. I don't think it's just that you've sinned a lot. You are the sin. You,
Yeah.
like, don't know, man.
So,
But you know
yeah,
what? Do you? Though the one thing that I found very strange, again, action movie dialogue. I don't know why action movies have to have bad dialogue, but yeah, he talks about you shouldn't raise more devils than you can put down.
yep.
And my father raised one too many. It's like you act as though your father goes and looks through the Bible and it's like, what rules do I need to take like heed of? Yes, do not raise more demons than you can lay down or whatever. I should remember that. Like this is the devil, bro. He's not gonna like what are you trying to
He's
achieve by
rogue.
saying this?
He's rogue. He
Yeah.
doesn't work
And why
with
are you
the.
telling the pastor? Like, is the pastor supposed to be like, I'll be sure to tell Mephisto when I meet him?
Yeah, the point is to not meet Mephisto.
Wait,
Yeah. It's like, why did he tell? Like, it just feel like one of those things, like, like the witty one-liners that it's like, it's not that witty because it doesn't apply here.
Is this early 2000 action movie stuff, bro?
Like, that feels like something Blackheart should have said to his dad. You should have told him you shouldn't raise more devils than you could put down. Don't tell
And
this
you've raised
random dude.
one
It's
too
like,
many.
I feel like that Saitama meme is very relevant here, right? Where he's just like, don't raise more devils that you can put down. Okay.
I can picture that now, man. That meme is hilarious. But yeah, so then he tells the pastor to give him the contract, and he's like, "No, we have to keep away from the likes of you, like people,
And it's
things
like,
like
so you
you."
just revealed you know where it is. You're stupid, bro. You should have just died with that info. Like, you just, like, damned the entire world.
Yeah, and then he got it out of him. We don't see how he does it, but he does, I believe.
But we get implied it's nasty stuff.
Yeah, because he does that purr, I think.
Yeah,
probably touch him all over.
Yeah.
but yeah,
So
then skipping
Roxanne,
back,
Roxanne.
she's all like, "Oh, I really love him," and he's like, "You know what, lady? We were on the gravy train riding on biscuit wheels till you got here. So why don't you just go back where you came from?" And I looked at her skin color and I was like, "That kind of that didn't age well."
Oh!
But you know what? I've been ruined by online media because I think
Oh
he meant more so
man.
like get out of our lives.
Yes, that is what she meant. Because he thinks
Uh,
that she's the source of all this nonsense happening with Johnny. And
and then
then
she just says, "But like, I don't want to though." And he's like, "Well, you know what? Now that you've said
because I
that, you've
want sex.
convinced me. You see, Johnny has been reading these books, and then he just takes her to these books, and it's like, why is this relevant to anything, guys? What's happening?"
And then she's reading the books and just like, oh no, Jesus Christ. And then Blackheart's like not
Yes.
even close. Haha, you were talking to me, right? It's like, no, dude, they
No,
weren't.
Mao, here's this guy. He's dead now. I don't even know his name, but he's dead now.
Mac. Return of the
Uh,
Mac.
and he's like, "Oh, I'm super thin now. Look at me. Ooh, I'm thin."
He dies. Um, and then
And
Blackheart like
then,
you think he tells her like, "Oh, you have his heart."
yeah, I was like, "What does that mean?" Because later on, if you
Mm,
remember, he's like, "He may have my soul, but he doesn't have my spirit." And you're like, "Oh, okay. So what about the heart part? Like, he has your heart as well." I don't know if you remember
I
that.
thought he was gonna say like he may have my soul, but he's not gonna get my heart as well, or something like that, you know.
Yeah, you feel like there was
But
supposed to be some sort of tie-in.
yes, but now it's like he don't got my spirit and caught us late. Like, oh my god, this kid. Like, I don't know.
Okay, maybe it's just me, but for some reason I always thought it was just referencing a Mephisto, like yeah, like to kind of like tell Counter-Strike that okay, I may have sold my soul to the devil, but he doesn't control me. I control myself, that kind of thing.
I looked at it from a completely different perspective. I was like, he means like the spirit of vengeance that's inside him. You will not have my spirit.
I looked at it like he may have my soul, but he doesn't get like my will, like my spirit, you know, my what I wanna do.
Art.
He don't got that.
Many interpretations. I see a blue canvas. It's like, no, I see a sunny day.
Like, no, I see a whale in water. I don't know,
I see a
camouflaging the whale.
chupacabra going to in and out trying to order a burger.
Hey yo, that's insane.
Nah, y'all just messed up. I see a white rabbit in snow.
A white rabbit in snow. That's true.
But yeah, so
Mm.
I believe I think he wants the
Then
contract,
Johnny
right?
appears a little bit later, and then she's kind of all.
Hold on, first Johnny takes the contract, most like which is in the it's been in the shovel the whole time. The caretaker
No, I think that
shovel.
comes a bit later.
That's a bit later, I think.
Really?
Yeah. He first needs to fight Blackheart, and Blackheart's like, "You work for me now. Get it through that thick skull of yours."
Oh yes, yes, yes. And yeah,
And
she's
then he
doing that thing
dips.
that Mono mentioned where she's breathing funny because she's like freezing or decaying. I don't know what Blackheart does to people.
Or sulfur overdose, brimstone overdose. I don't know.
Oh
She
yeah,
can get
yeah,
some of
something
this
like that.
brimstone.
Damn, damn. Um, I don't, see, I have a feeling that Eva Mendes is going to come back as her character in the Fast franchise somewhere down the line, but that's a conversation for another day. Moving
I
on.
mean, we're talking about someone who's very fast and furious right now, bro. You see the Ghost Rider? Did you see that garage scene where he made the sign say rage?
Yeah. So yeah, now that the rider works or Johnny works for Blackheart Air Quotes, he now has to go get the contract of San Venganza, you know. And
Contract
so
of Seven Guns.
Okay, the way you said that, I legit was hearing that in like a RBD type of way, like a proper damn Rob Van Dam. Yo, nah, it must be WWE.
I used to play with that guy so much. I think in 2011, swear that was raw. I used to always pick him. But
Man, I don't
yeah,
know. I can't even remember my name, my main.
mine was either like yeah, him or Evan Bourne. I don't know. I went Evan Bourne a lot.
Might have been Shawn Michaels.
Switch and music. So Johnny goes back to the caretaker, and that's when he now asks for the contract, right? You have to give me the contract.
And it's like, stop.
Um,
It's not in there.
yeah, he's like, first he refuses, and he's like, look, if you don't want to give it to me, I'll dig it up myself. Johnny grabs a shovel, and then the caretaker says, look, stop, it's not in there. And then he takes a shovel, breaks it, and it's revealed that the contract is inside the shovel. Um, and then they imply that Johnny implies that, listen, I'm not gonna give it to Blackheart. I have a plan. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Um,
My plan is go in guns blazing and hope for the best.
Wait,
basically.
hold up. I just remember there was like this one scene where in the cemetery that it's kind of like
Oh
before
yeah, he
this.
got beat up at one point, didn't he?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and I was like, yo, so Blackheart, why didn't you kill this man? Like, I'm not gonna say you should, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
like there was
what?
many people in this film so far. He's killed for literally no reason, and then there's one dude who starts insulting him. He's like, "Nah, I'll leave you, bro. It's cool,
Because we
bro."
need
You're
peak in the third act, guys.
He was like, "Nah, you roasted me and actually respectable, so I'm gonna keep you alive until I get a good comeback. I'm gonna scroll on Twitter till I get that comeback, and then we're gonna like get back to you."
Blackheart seems like the type to do that. I'm not gonna lie.
And I was really thinking, so let me get this straight. Every person you've come into contact with the exception of Eva Mita's character, Roxanne, um, you've killed them all. But this guy, who you have no idea knows where the contact is. Well, actually, I think you might know that, but you don't know that he has the contact on him because you're like, screw this guy, kick him in the face.
I think everyone in the movie is kind of weird for not like wondering just a little bit more. Probably again a bit more of the meta on my side, but nobody like sits there and like, why does this guy know so much? Who is this? Who is he?
Yeah.
Imagine like somebody just came to you and told you something mad personal, like you will fall. I'm like, that's very specific, Jen. Let's sit down. What do you know?
Let's have a conversation about this. What do you know, bro?
Why don't you just take a seat over there, Blackheart?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a scene where yeah, like the caretaker gets beaten up for information about the contract, but he doesn't give it up.
Yeah. And also,
Ew,
nothing
hello,
actually prompted
Vance.
me to say, okay, maybe something prompted, but like as soon as that water demon or whatever thing is. Um, he showed up. Dude was like, "Yo, bro, this is all of grounds." He had like, if you were thinking logically, like kind of like Mono said, or like Steve would call it that. I would like to wonder, yo, bro, how do you know I'm a demon? I have given you no indication that I am one. I mean,
I mean,
I
he's
know.
dripping wet. I'm
And
just
he's got
saying,
sharp
man. Like,
teeth.
and his eyes keep like flumping off of his face.
It's kind of weird to me.
Dude is literally melting right in front of you. I don't know what you should assume at that point.
It's kind of weird to me. Just saying.
I think my first assumption would be like, bro, where did you run from? Like, you look like you sweating, man. Like, what happened? But
Uh,
I think the idea is, if you recall, he wakes up from his sleep and immediately he's like ready to fight. So I think he can just like sense demons.
Yeah,
since he's
yeah, I know.
still, yeah.
I know that about caretaker. I'm just like wondering why the demons or Blackout was like, yo, how do you know this stuff, my guy?
Now,
We are not.
Blackout was like sitting in the background, like, oh, I'm gonna sneak up on him now, and I'm gonna be like, I'm not like the other demons. Yeah. Nah. Let me not say like that. I don't have the weaknesses of the. Nah. Hold on. He was just kind of getting ready in the background.
Yeah, because then he pulled up like, oh, I have all my father's strengths, but none of his weaknesses. And I'm like, how convenient. That doesn't make any sense.
Man's been practicing that one.
The way you've been saying that, you could tell he got that part ready. He practiced that in the mirror like multiple times, hours, even days if you have to.
Bro, Blackheart
Does
is
he
such a
even have a
like
reflection?
weird villain. I mean, he's not a vampire.
Hey, the vampires don't have a reflection because they have no soul. Keep that in mind.
Ah, okay. So what
And
is
I'm just
Johnny
saying,
doing in
he
the
has
mirror?
no soul to burn.
Johnny, but Johnny like the Game of First to has his soul. I don't know if it's like in with him. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, he has a soul. It's just not currently in use. Standby,
Yeah,
pending.
it's been currently declined. Like
God has declined. Mephisto comes up to me. God declined. He's like, hey, bro, what the if?
your soul is declined. You can't make this purchase. I don't make the rules,
Imagine
man.
that happened like that. That would be a cool meme. Be a cool meme. Where it's like you make a contract with a demon in exchange for your soul. God declines, and the demon is just like, "Alright, bro, let's go get your soul." No, I did all that work.
You
Where's your
reminded
soul,
me
bro?
of a meme where like the Grim Reaper pulls up to this guy and he's like, "Hey man, your daughter said, oh my dad, she won't do this thing, and she did it. You gotta come with me, OG. I'm sorry." You
Hey,
gotta-
bro, I don't make the rules.
I think it was like your girl said, "Oh my dad, I'm not gonna cheat," and she look bad. She cheated, but you gotta come with me,
She
OG. I
cheated.
don't make the rules.
Bro, if it's me, it's 1v1. I'm just saying, bro. We need to like sort this out now.
Yo, be
You
like,
have
look, I
brought
don't make the
dishonor onto
rules.
our family.
Be like, nah, we're fighting death. He's like, what you mean, bro? You can't fight me.
Says who?
Did anyone try before? It's like, nah, not actually. It's like, exactly.
Yeah,
It's going up, my guy. You got two first. I got two first. Let's
nigga,
go.
look at you like you think you are Jesus.
Damn.
But yeah, so there's that scene, they failed to get information out of the caretaker. And I
And
think
then
that's when
they
they
go
leave
off
to
the
go
rocks.
to Blackheart goes to Johnny's house, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the whole events that we talked about happens. Johnny now leaves and he gets the contract, and in the scene, the caretaker tells him, listen man, San Venganza is like 500 miles from here. We gotta get a move on. And then Johnny's like, we.
We?
And then
I really thought he was gonna get his chosen one energy there, but like, oh, who we, bro?
the caretaker calls a horse, gets on the horse, puts on his hat, and it turns on fire, with his skull and everything. And then Johnny's like, you caught a Slade. And he's like, yep, I'm Carter Slade. It doesn't say, but like, just exuding that, yeah,
Life
yeah, it's
for you.
me.
Yeah, that I'm caught a Slade energy.
Yeah, that I'm Carter Slade. He's the Phantom Rider in the source material. It's what it's called. One of the first ones before Johnny Blaze. Um,
Yeah.
and then Johnny flames up, turns to Ghost Rider form, and they both ride out into the desert looking for this old town of San Venganza. It's such a cool scene. You guys should check it out if you haven't. Like Mono said, get a life if you haven't. Like seriously, so cool.
Man,
One of the
that scene
coolest
is
scenes
just
in the movie.
I personally, actually, it's not personal. It's objective. It's just the truth. It's the coolest scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, because like this, he's like, "Oh, can you keep up?" And then he's like, and then the
The whole
horse turns on
just
fire,
cried, bro. Watch me
and
move.
then Johnny Blaze then turns on fire while he revs
Trash.
he revs the engine and turns on fire. It's so cool.
Man, like at moments like this, you just kind of look at Nick Cage's performance, you're like, damn, bro, like you managed to convey that very well with like the whole body language and everything. That was nice.
Yeah, and it's kind
It
of
was
like
like
also
like even how he just sits down before he transforms. It was just like everything is just on peak, bro. Like they were on their ones, bro.
and also like the scene where they actually like go to Saturday, whatever that place is called, and like, for a second there it looked like the horse was like not keeping up, but in front, and Johnny was the one keeping up. I bet you Johnny was thinking to himself, "Yo, bro, I should not have said that.
I
I'm
mean,
struggling
if
here."
I were the one to have like that, like if I were to ask for any scene, it would probably just be to see more of them just kind of riding to the location, kind of just racing each other in a funny way, just to be like bonehead old and bonehead new.
Yeah, it could have been like a nice little nice little couple of scenes of them like
Some
just
mild
working together,
competition,
mild
especially because
competition.
we're getting to that point where it's like he's just like, I got you, yeah, I'm out, peace. Here's a shotgun.
Oh, it's like okay, he can show okay, this is how I use the powers, the hell flame. How do you use it? Check this little trick. Let me teach you something.
Yeah, let me show you some boy.
Let me show you something, son.
So that
But yeah,
way, and way too much emphasis on it, my guy.
boy.
Relax, Connor. Relax, Connor. It ain't like that.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
bro. These are two white men. They don't need to worry about racism.
Okay.
But yeah,
But okay,
so um, we have the scene now where Mr. Old Slade is all like, "That was the last one I had in me. I've been
the
saving it
last
for this
burnout.
day." And you as the audience, you sit there and you're like, "Oh, what you mean that's the lot? Why do you do it then? Like, what if he fails? What are you gonna do then?"
It was like I was saving exactly for this day.
Like you've been waiting for the day that someone would have to give the contract to Blackheart so that you could accompany them to the destination so that you can hope they would win.
Almost implying like he knew all of this would happen. Like he's just like again going back to the thing of like almost like there's like a higher power tying the events together. This is meant to happen. This is how things are supposed to be.
And I mean, to further emphasize that, he says, stick to the shadows. And it's like, what the F are you talking about?
That was
What do you
so
mean stick to the
confusing.
shadows?
That was
What are you
so
talking about?
confusing.
And then we see later on, we see now Mr. Nicholas Blaze is all like, stick to the shadows. I gotta stick to the shadows. And then he takes the shotgun. It's like, well, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And then it just worked. You're like, oh, okay. Is that what it meant?
And if you guys remember, to transform into the Ghost Rider,
It needs to
he
be
needs to be
night.
at night and he needs to be in the presence of evil. But the sun came up, and so he used the shadows to transform, which is like, what?
I
What
guess
is
it's
what?
supposed to because it's the break of dawn, so I guess technically wherever the sun hasn't touched yet is still nighttime according to weird demon Mephisto contract rules.
Hmm.
He was like, nah, your nightcap isn't over yet, King. Don't worry.
You still have your night bundle.
Exactly. But yeah, so that is a thing that definitely happened.
So yeah, like Johnny gets there.
And at this point in the film, I think we also need to acknowledge something strange.
Yeah.
Bro, Blackheart is all like, slow him down. It's almost dawn. And it's like, wait, what do you mean? You beat this guy 1v1. Why are you suddenly scared of him? It's like, nah, bro, slow him down. You heard me. It's almost dawn. And Waterman is like, I guess. So it's like, so you're afraid to fight him at night or what? What? Like, why are you sending this dude to die? Is there anything you
Yeah.
guys have to say about this? Like, why do you think he
I
would?
I saw the scene and I was kind of like confused. Wouldn't be the first time I'm watching this movie and I'm confused.
I
But
mean, yeah,
it's
fun
like I
times.
he was like, "Oh, go slow him down. It's almost dawn." And the water guy looked at him funny, and I was like, "Why is he looking at you funny? Why is this bothering you? Like, what's going on here? Do you
I
know?"
think the implication is supposed to be like, I know you're about to die, bro, but like, just do it anyway.
Okay, that yeah, I guess that went. It
Because
just went
he
over.
doesn't say go and kill him or anything. He says slow him down. It almost has to be like, bro, you can't do nothing, bro. Just slow him down at the least.
It went over my head. I was like, "What's going on here?"
But yeah, no. So we have that scene happen, and he
Uh,
goes after Johnny. Johnny's kind of
Johnny
like
goes.
creeping
Yeah,
through a
Johnny's like
swamp
riding with his bike slowly to the swampy,
for
rides over
whatever
water,
reason. Like it's not like you're on a countdown or anything, bro. It's not like you need to get here before night is over. Don't take your time though.
and you can see that's also like a nice little set they built there with the water and the trees, that the scrawny looking trees.
Yeah,
And then Johnny gets pulled down by the water guy, water angel, fallen angel type thing. They fight underwater,
demon.
demon. That's when the surprise transformation happens, and the guy gets
Bruh,
evaporated.
it's like, what did you think was gonna happen? Because he seemed to be very happy with himself until the surprise happened. It was like, bro, what did you think was happening here? Did you think you were winning?
Did you think you would win?
Yeah, I honestly
Like,
feel like that was what the Johnny was going.
I wish we could have like an anime inner monologue, like, huh, I finally got him now. He can't get out of this. Genjutsu of this level is way beyond his level.
And unfortunately, he understood it the hard way that nah, bro.
Genjutsu of this level doesn't affect me.
Exactly. So Johnny defeats this water demon, and then he finally makes it to San Venganza. You know.
The inner city.
Yes.
Although what kind of was weird for me was like when he was driving his bike, you could see like there was like a lot of water puddles listening or in the steam. So I'm like wondering where all that water come from? Because the man just like jumped up, grabbed him, took him down. Because it was
Yeah.
you could see that bike was like standing, and you could see like okay, yeah, you can see
No,
the water.
but don't you know about the infamous movie Water? That happens in a lot of movies where somebody gets into the water and it's like ankle high and it's fine. Then they take one step forward and they're just underwater now, and you're like, oh, okay, that just happened. It's like it's just what you expect from movies. It's the same thing like someone's walking
Yeah.
on ice in a movie. You're like, okay, someone's gonna fall into it. It's gonna and they're gonna fall into it. It's gonna happen.
Jumper.
Ooh,
We should do like a jumper review sometime.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that bike sometimes acts like an asshole.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. The bike is just kind of like a douche, bro. Like it's like watching Johnny. It's like, nah, you got him, bro. Don't worry about it. You got him.
You got him, bro. Do you want me to rev my engine? Motor support.
Or you want me to turn my headlight on? I can do that too. I'm good at that.
Yeah.
Check this. Flashbang. Pretty cool, huh? Devil just told me I could do that. Horses can't
What
do
if
that.
like
I'm better than a
really
horse.
grabbed the speed bike? The, ba- the way the bike was moving was like, okay, I'm gonna just go on. You got this, John. You got this. I'm gonna
Exactly. That bike got like sassy personality. He gets out of the water and the bike's like, oh, bro, that took you real long. Like, that's kind of embarrassing. It's like, wake the hell up. Wake up, samurai. We got a city to burn.
Oh man.
That was a
Johnny
game. I don't know.
Johnny Silverhand
Johnny,
is so weird, bro. Like there's this line where it's like the situation is bent over, cheeks spread wide open. And I'm like, yo,
okay, bro. TMI.
you know, he's so weird, man. But
But yeah,
yeah,
so he gets inside and Blackheart does the dumbest thing I've ever seen a villain do in any movie ever. He's all like, "Oh, you want me to give you the thing? Give you the girl? You need to get rid of the girl first, and then I'll give you the contract for the girl." And then he doesn't give him the contract. It's like, Blackheart, bro, you're a demon. This is your ways. This is your ways, bro. How did you get fooled by this?
oh man, and then like Johnny transforms, but like he tries to fight Blackheart, but he just can't.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. The sun
Black
rises,
Blackheart's like, the sun's about to rise. I can just nerf him now.
and the
yeah,
fight.
and I found it funny how everyone like throughout this movie, Johnny Blaze with his chain, he is unstoppable. And as soon as he gets to the end, like and Blackheart's there, He does the thing no one ever thought of doing. Catch that chain and use it and throw him
I
with
mean,
the
I don't
chain.
think anyone had an opportunity. That's the thing. I don't know if we could say it's. I don't think it's fair to say he was unstoppable up until this point. The first guy, he got nuked by it. He literally got turned into glass. Second guy got nuked by it. He got turned into like I don't know. As Ghost Rider said, time to clear the air. He's just gone. He got
Oh yeah, he
vaporized.
did say
This
that. Man, this guy's so goofy, man.
and then the next guy he didn't even get like the chain action, so I don't think it's like fair to say, oh man, he was unstoppable with it, because up until this point he has burnt everyone with the chain. Comes to Blackheart, he's like, I don't think I need the upgrade. You know what, it's fine, I'll just deal with him normal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And extra firepower isn't useful.
And so the sun rises. Johnny Blaze powers down because he's unable to transform during the sunrise in the light of the sun. And then
Rock is like,
Blackheart,
Johnny.
yeah, I think she gets thrown like away somewhere, falls over.
And then obviously
Um,
Blackheart, this is the contract of Savanganza. Now, before we get into the all cool part that I'll let Colonel Senpai take over, does anyone else feel like this contract might not have been needed? It seems like he just needs to announce this is the contract of Salvan Ganza. Anyway, now that's out of the way.
Now
Come to
everybody
me.
join me. Yeah,
It's like, oh, was that in the contract? Like the incantation, come to me.
it was very like it was very much. I don't know. It just felt like we built up to this just for that. That's it.
This is the contract of Salvan Ganza. All of you, come to me. It's like,
It's
alright,
like
bro.
is that it? Is that it?
At
Like
least like
okay,
speak like Latin or something, make it sound cool.
yeah. Say a spell or something. Like draw us a pentagram. I don't know.
You know,
You
that
know.
I like. That is DG is gonna give nice.
Or like at least like say like I don't know, like by the contract of Savan Ganza you were sworn to me or something like that, and then I don't know, man, like something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then we see a full on transformation, and the man's turns up, opening his eyes. It's red. It looks like he's been hitting the fattest joint in history.
Oh man. And then he calls himself Legion because he is many.
For we are many,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then like they start like running them hands.
But the Ghost Rider is losing. He tries to use the shotgun, doesn't work. He tries to Ghost Riderify the shotgun, which is kind of cool. That doesn't work. He puts the gun in the shadows and then he uses like his flames to transform it, like it does with the bike.
But by the way, when Roxanne comes in and she starts shooting, push, 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 and then it's out, and then like he's like, "Give the gun to me." And then she's like, "It's out." It's like, hey, he's a ghost demon guy. Like, just give him the shotgun, man. Like he probably knows it's out. Otherwise, wouldn't you be shooting still?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just like just like if Tony Stark came to me and he was like, "Oh, bro, you got a gun." I'm like, "Ah, it's out." I'm like, "Nah, bro, just take the gun. Like, I don't care what you're gonna do with it. Just take it. Just know it's out though." Like if I just want to let him know if he thinks he's gonna shoot.
Yeah. So yeah, like, um, 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 he shoots. The gunshots aren't working. Um, I would have. I don't know about you guys, but I would have liked to see like Blackguard do a little bit more with his newfound abilities than just like
I don't.
being
I kind
popular.
of just think they should have built more to like Johnny's realization, because it seems as Johnny's realization comes almost out of nowhere, because while he's being put together by the souls and stuff, right? We don't like get this look on like Nicolas Cage's face where he's all like, oh,
Yeah,
like something
yeah.
like that when he looks at him getting reformed by the souls. Did I say Nicolas Cage? I meant to say Nicholas Blaze.
Nick Blaze, because you just like seem like, oh, now he just knows. Oh,
Yeah.
a
He's like,
thousand
how does it
souls.
feel? All that power. 1,000
Mm,
souls to burn.
yep, and then he powers up. Which is he even in the shadow when he does that?
I think it's just when he steps into the shadow. Although
Yeah.
for I guess the break there that feels strange is supposed to be more so, I guess, like up until now, only the part of his body that was in the shadow transformed, but now as soon as his foot gets into the shadow, all of him is gone. It's just now a rider.
So he's now transforming. He grabs Blackheart. with all those souls to burn, his penance stare can finally work. And he tells
And
him, "Look
Blackheart is like,
into
hey,
my
yo, hold
eyes."
on a second, bro. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. This wasn't part of the
Like,
subscription.
no, no. And then, yeah, the penance
Feel
stare
their
shoots.
pain.
Yeah, you should start seeing the what did Mono call them? The hellfire animations. I don't know, the orange fire animations.
Oh, yeah, the memories, the flashbacks.
You just see
Hellfire
all the
flashback.
flashbacks of all the bad stuff he did, and I think some other stuff that the souls did. I don't know. I couldn't see them very clearly.
Maybe.
But this
I
concludes
was my
the
eyes were
penance
glazed over from the hype. I was just like, oh snap.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson meme. I was like that. I was doing that. I was like, I was out of this world, but I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I believe after they drop him from the penance day, Blackheart like turns to dust or something.
I think the implication is supposed to be that Mephisto left with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Because he
Mephisto
does
when
show
Nemo
up
says
afterwards.
no, and then they show Blackheart turning into smoke.
Yeah, because then Mephisto appears and he tells him, well, Johnny, Nick Blaze, your job is done as the Ghost Rider. You will now return the powers to me. And we are done doing business. And then he
And he's
does
like,
that weird
nah,
pointing thing, and he's like, "Nah,
yeah,
actually, this curse I've been like playing with my entire life, that's ruined my life. I'm gonna keep it.
it's mine now.
It's mine now." And it's like, excuse me?
And I mean, like, it seems somewhat consistent because they have said Blackheart himself. He said you have no control here in this realm or whatever. So it's like it makes sense, I guess, that Mephisto can't actually forcefully take it back, but I guess he can give it.
Yeah. So Johnny decides to keep the powers and use them against Mephisto. Whenever innocent blood is spilled,
It
he
will
will
be his
be there.
father's blood.
It will be
I don't know what that means. I guess it's like say it's like the
me
equivalent
neither.
of like if somebody innocent gets hurt, it will be as if that you did that to my dad. So I'll treat it the same, like it's personal. Maybe is what he's trying to say.
Mm,
I don't know,
I
man.
guess.
Hey, action movie dialogue.
And I think, like before he tells him that, like when he tells him to give it back, he looks at Roxanne. Roxanne looks at him like, "Nah, tell him you're gonna keep it. Tell him."
It
Then it's
feels
like,
so weird. It's almost like, hey, help me out here. Like, let's listen to this. Oh, like, hey,
yeah. And then he's like, "Nah, I'm keeping it." You know. And then Mephisto's
mine,
like, "Yeah, no." He stabs knocks his thing into the
staff,
ground. His staff with the
walking.
crystal skull that Indiana
Yeah,
Jones was probably looking for at that time. But um. So yeah,
yeah.
he leaves
I
with
don't
a
know why
small
you would reference that movie of all of them. That's like, I mean, there's a new one that's worse, I guess.
the
Than
Dial of Destiny. Oh, they say it's
yeah.
so bad. Comment below if you guys want us to like watch that and talk about
I
it.
don't
Don't
want
don't,
to.
don't say yes. Don't say yes,
I,
guys. Don't say yes.
I don't want to.
Um,
I like Indiana Jones. Please don't.
yeah, James Mangold just probably wasn't the guy for this. But yeah, this
I mean, that's
concludes.
pretty much the movie. I'm not gonna go to the part where they're all like, oh, we like they do their thing by the tree, and it's like,
Long
oh,
story short, Johnny like he leaves right, and Roxanne's telling him why. He tells Roxanne about something his dad told him about. Like, my dad always said, if you don't make the choices will make you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And then
Okay.
yeah, and then she's like, "But why do your choices always keep us apart?" And then he's like, "I mean, I guess that's just life, that's just the nature of our relationship, I guess. But hey, man, let me give you one last kiss and like I'm out of here." And then he leaves, and then there's a zoom into his face, and then Nick Blaze does this eyebrow raise that's so weird.
I felt like it kind of transferred well into his transformation. Not gonna lie, I almost felt like I mean I can almost see Ghost Rider lifting his eyebrow.
You mean he lifting his eye socket just a little bit higher than his other eye socket?
Exactly. I felt like it almost transferred well.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the movie. Um,
Very strange movie.
very
Um,
strange.
I love
Literally
it.
only
It feels like a fever dream that someone like put Ghost Rider characters into, but you know what? I liked it.
with the only peak scene for me being like the chorus
Okay, like
lady riding together,
think of
and
any other scene other than that. Like, what do you think is like a real standout scene?
for me it's got to be whenever like the Ghost Rider is like giving his one-liners. I do like those scenes, like
Time to
when he's
clear
being
the
chased
air.
by the cops with the helicopter and stuff. That I do like that scene. Which is he's
You're
doing his
pissing me
thing.
off. I don't
Yeah,
know. That just kind of felt like okay.
I wouldn't mind just for like just as junk food watching a movie where he's just like the whole time in Ghost Rider mode.
I think that's like just goes to show just how inadequate they display Johnny Blaze's character because you're not really interested in what he's trying to do. You want to
Yeah,
really see the rider.
yeah. I would just like to see the rider just doing his thing because like that's the character, like the Ghost Rider. That's the character, you know. Although
That's the ticket I bought.
I will say it's funny because the Robbie Reyes version that they brought in the MCU in Agents of Shield season 4, his character as Robbie Reyes is as compelling as his rider. They did a good job
I
with
don't
that.
believe you, but I will have to watch it more to see.
About to say the same thing. Like, sure I know the character name, kind of.
I wouldn't say Kaita did, but like you can, he's just like he's a bit more interesting, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't feel all over the place like Nick Cage
I
does.
don't
Nick
know,
Cage.
man. There's a low bar you're trying to set there. Character being more interesting than Johnny Blaze. Don't know. It feels like a very low bar.
I don't know. I don't know. I just thought he was more like, yeah, I can, yeah, I don't
I
know.
can get behind this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, there was.
Any highlight scenes for you?
I do highlight scenes. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Would have to be his first transformation. Oh my god, for me that was just. I don't care what you guys think, but that was just
I knew you
messed up.
liked it. Why you like this, bro?
No, I
That
just
that
love
scene is
things
so
that
silly,
make
bro.
it exactly. That's what makes it so awesome. Like I mean, you see that. I mean, yo, man, just laughing like it.
Why is the laugh supposed to be the thing that sells it? That sounds so bizarre. I've never heard someone go, man, this is one
Bro.
scene where the character is laughing and I like that scene.
Just for me, that scene is just perfect. Wow. And then afterwards, Blackheart like start laughing, clapping.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Hold on. I take back that statement. I feel as though now that I've said that, someone is going to like post in the comment section trying to be a duh person, being like, I like the laugh and I like to sing because of the laugh.
So
No, bro. Like that's like just
that
listen.
doesn't make it better. If you like it, that's fine. It doesn't make it better.
No, I'm not trying to argue. I'm just like trying to be like, it seems like a weird metric to be like, I like it because the laugh. But you know what? Maybe I should also take that back in a way, right? Thinking about it, I don't want to just listen to a certain guy laughing who claims that he played the character of Joker. I think that we can debate about if he actually did play the character of Joker, but there's that guy who laughs.
You
Why did you say that name?
The, I think you mean the front man for 30 Seconds to Mars. I think
Oh,
that's what you mean.
that guy. Oh, that dude. Yeah.
But
Uh,
I can understand not liking a portrayal maybe because of the laugh. You know, there's another guy who has like this really
Look,
like
okay.
grating
If
laugh.
there's one scene of him I do like, two of Leto's Joker. Okay.
Oh, man.
You know what? I'm
Listen,
gonna cut you off right there, bro. That
listen.
doesn't sound like a. I'm
Oh,
I'm I'm not one for blasphemy. I know I was trying to talk about giving the devil advice, but
Oh
bro,
man,
hold on, man,
listen,
hold on.
listen, hear me out. It's the one where like he takes the tattoo of the laugh and he puts it over his mouth and he laughs a bit. Like that's I was like, that's kinda cool. And then the one where like the guy's talking and he slaps his shoulders like all of that chit chat's gonna get you killed. I don't know. It's kinda yeah.
See,
you are
both those
just
statements for me, it's just like that's so on the nose. Like I don't know if I like that.
no, no, damn.
Like I feel like there's a way you can convey all that through simple body language, right? Where it's just like, like he looks at him and he has that smile on his face. Then the guy can be like, oh hell no, hold on a second. Why is he smiling like that?
I'm about to die.
Exactly. I feel like there is a way to do that that's more efficient. But let's not rant about the DCEU of all things.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for that. Now it's not that time or place. So the standout scenes. So the laughing scene for Colonel. Uh, for me,
Um
it's like
I think maybe before he transforms when he's just on the bike ride. Um I don't know if I like the collateral damage. That poor police officer or the traffic cop just trying to be like, hey, that guy looks like he's speeding and it just explodes. Maybe that
right.
wasn't but like I think I really did like how kind of just should I say self-indulgent that scene was like of him just riding through town, destroying everything with the bike. his speed kind of being like unnaturally, supernaturally fast. I think that was kind of cool. The first Penance Day was pretty nice.
Yep.
I I'm just wondering like why is it every time you stay or like a lot of times when he uses it sorry, I mean when he uses it successfully, he's like your soul is stained with the blood of the innocent. Feel the pain. Is that like a requirement you have to say that before you can actually use it? Or are you just like using that for dramatic effect? I just
I think it's more like right. The idea is penance, right? So they need to understand why they are feeling the pain that they're feeling, why they see the visions that they see, so that they can repent.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the idea is more so like it's like he's telling you so you know why this is happening.
oh so you don't feel like a victim.
I don't know about you don't feel like a victim. Like if you get your soul burned, I think maybe you could make
Uh,
a case, you know? You could try and say, hey, look, bro, like I get it, bro, but maybe send me to jail. Kind of using my soul. I know you're not using yours, but like the rest of us, you know.
yeah. But yeah, yeah, this movie was what rating could I give it? I never want to be too harsh with ratings, but I also do want to be
I give it a
honest.
7 out of 10 on the
Probably I give
goof
this thing like a
scale
4.
because it's very
Yeah.
goofy, and nostalgic 5 out of 10 on the superhero movie scale.
Wow. What about you,
Hey
Colonel?
man, I'm just saying, you can tell me, do you want to watch Captain Marvel or do you want to watch this movie? And then tell
I'm
me.
watching Ghost Rider.
Because both of them have main characters who aren't very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I give this 6 or 7 out of 10.
Oh
Just
my
for
god,
Oh
bro.
my
Oh,
god.
hell no, man.
Under what standard though?
Oh
Because I
my.
said on a nostalgic
What?
movie and on a goof scale kind of thing. Like I have different metrics. If you want me to really tell you what my thoughts are, this is a trash movie. This thing is not subpar. Like saying 4 out of 10 is generous. This is less than subpar, bro.
This is why I'm like, I don't want to be too harsh. This movie.
Like when you have certain things, like when you have your milk and you need to give the milk the smell test, and you're like, I guess it passes the smell test. Like this movie is like, nah, bro. I'm sure that this milk is like it ain't good.
okay, I'm not saying it's a good movie. It's just a goofy one, and I love it for it. This is on the level
Uh,
of Sharknado kind of type movies, where it's so bad it's good. To me,
yeah.
this is what that was.
You see, I don't think it's on the level of being so bad it's good because it's not incoherent enough to be so bad. Like
Okay,
Twilight
so
movies are so bad.
you enjoy the movie, right? It is a thing of yours. But like, if you had to separate, like, I don't know, your love of it or whatever, like, just looking at it for what it is, like, what would you rate it?
A 9 out of 10. It's even better now that I think about it.
No, damn. How much you
Ages like
think?
wine.
Uh,
Uh, we should really do more goofy movies, bro. I want to do because I'm just thinking of him like he's laughing during the scene again, and I'm just like, man, this is so silly.
what should we do next? Fantastic Four, Electra.
Oh, hold on. Fantastic Four, I think, is more. Nah, maybe I'm lying. I
You
haven't
still
rewatched that.
twice.
Now I was gonna be like, nah, it's probably more competent, but then I was just like, nah, probably not.
I'm talking about 2007, not like
That's what I
2015.
mean. That's what I mean. That's the one I'm thinking of. Because I'm just like Supernova. And it's like, all right, so that's just something. Oh, okay. All right, bro.
Yeah.
And like, I think that Fantastic Four movie is the perfect example of like, like those rom coms you would watch where you get really upset because the characters aren't explaining themselves. Like that movie is that kind of movie. But like, Benny's just like, oh, Reed, you're not trying to help me. And like, Reed could just be like, "Hey, bro, look, I'm trying to help you." And that would clear up that misunderstanding.
Mhm.
But again, that's why I said also maybe I should refrain from because it's been years since I've watched that, so I don't even know if that's actually the how that scene is being played out. It could very well be that Reed wasn't trying to help Dog.
But yeah, I guess that's a conversation we can save for like if we do a Fantastic Four
Yeah.
review. But Ghost Rider, man, like yeah, would I recommend it? Hey man, if you wanna like waste some time, watch a goofy superhero movie with like
But
one key.
that doesn't really seem to be very concerned with superheroing. There's like one scene where he saves a lady from being mugged. The rest is kind of just chaos.
Yeah, go ahead, man. If you want that early 2000s feel, meet like a comic book, go ahead, go watch it.
This is a certified canon on the Cannonball scale. It's not a bull.
Yeah, yeah. You know, comment down below what you guys think, and comment down below what you guys think about Ghost Rider. If you've seen it, what thoughts do you have? What opinions do you have? You know,
What are your
join the
memories of it as a kid?
conversation. Yeah, all of those stuff, guys. Our podcast and your podcast. You know, have a conversation with us. We will not be serving food during this conversation, right? We don't do that. But yeah, enjoy your stay. Um, if you made this far in the video, comment down below.
Bonehead.
Comment bonehead. Comment bonehead. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe. We should probably do like also a Secret Invasion review because from what I'm seeing so far, this show is. I have a lot
No.
of questions and complaints.
No.
I thought to myself, I should watch the show because I know Saint George is gonna make us review this thing. I'm like, and now I actually have to go watch
I
it.
will. I will because this show is.
Oh,
It's not
Uh,
ass, but like it's just not consistent, bro. Like it's just it's
Fine.
weird.
Put it on the
hold on.
list.
Like a
Before we
classic
go, I
Disney
just have
Plus
to ask.
like Marvel piece of whatever. Yeah. You guys stay easy out there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in.
Do you guys want us to do the sequel? Comment down below.
Yeah, Spirit of Vengeance, which is going to be a headache, but for
It's
the
way
cult.
worse than this movie in all the different ways. It's like these are not the same movie.
Yeah.
Okay, for your information, that movie is a masterpiece. It has Idris Elba in it. That's all I will say.
I will
Man,
fight
stop
you.
riding King's coattails.
I will fight you.
You can try. I'm right here. You know my
Okay,
location.
no. What is your question?
Oh, what what do you guys think about the industry dynamic between power and weakness? Because for me, I was like thinking, oh, it's kind of cool how Blackheart specifically, how not that he's powerful, listener, but not as he's most powerful, he had no weakness. He could take on the rider, no death. I mean, like this, whatever effort. But as soon as he got to his most powerful, he suddenly, became more weak and, like he's not weak. He just got the weakness of, oh, now I got souls to burn. Oh shit, oh snap! I did not see that coming. But also
I
with
think I think it's just like a classic example of all the time kind of stories do this all the time, right? The villain gets their comeuppance by the means of whatever kind of they lose by the means they created themselves, essentially, right? Their own folly is the cause of their demise. So I think it's just a classic example of that, and probably like one of the better uses of that, right? Like if this was a better, like tighter script, I think that would have been a nice payoff of.
Mm.
So that's my take. Like just classic villain, like try and get something, they get the thing, but then that's the thing that causes them to lose, which shows us the audience that that's the difference between them and the hero, right? The hero is willing to give up certain things so that, like, even if it's their goals, right? Because maybe it conflicts with their morals or their beliefs or anything else like that, and that what allows them to triumph over the villain.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
I
kind
guess
of
I
on the
never,
same camp.
I guess I never thought of it like that's the difference between the hero and the villain. I guess never thought of it like that.
That's just like an interpretation I have. If you obviously have something different, please do tell. That's just what I saw. We spoke about Indiana Jones earlier on, right? That was one of his arcs, right? Like I think was it the Ark of the Covenant? They were looking for it, him and the Nazis, and then like him letting go and being like, "Nah, I'm not gonna go after it." And then the Nazis, I think they find it, and then they die.
Mm. Hmm.
I think they melt or something when they look at it.
That's
It's
crazy.
been too long since I watched it, so can't remember. But I think that's what happens. But the point was supposed to be that Indy was able to give up, like he's not obsessed like they are, and he was able to realize the fatal flaw of the Covenant or the Ark.
Yeah. But I.
I kind of just took it as that black hawk scene. I kind of took that black hawk. I kind of took that as pride comes before the fall. Like, but, but
I mean, Blackheart
I
was
mean,
like, yeah,
it
pretty.
wasn't that it isn't there, right? I think he was like, you can't beat me now, Lamau.
and
Yeah,
also
he's.
I found it funny how the guy who's known for rebellion, specifically Christianity, is now having to deal with the rebellious quote unquote teenager. Okay, maybe it's not a teenager, but in my head I'm like, yeah, this rebellious teenager energy right there. This, yo, you should teach your son some manners, my guy.
Some you're just
System.
my stepdad energy.
You're not my dad.
Uh, but I think that's all I've got to say right now. I'm being chilling.
Alright, bit. So, any last words? Anything you guys want to say to our viewers?
Sometimes legends come true.
Yes, sometimes they do.
Wait, can you say that line again? Uh, St. George?
Any last words?
Hulk smash.
Why did I know you were gonna do that?
Yeah, that's it, I guess.
That's all, folks. I don't know how Pokey does it. But yeah, he does
Yeah,
it
I
something like
forget
that.
as well.
Yeah, I think there was a video where the Pokey voice act explains how he does it. But yeah, you guys stay safe out there. Stay cool, stay easy. If you're in the southern hemisphere, stay warm, and if you're in the northern hemisphere, stay cool. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Ciao.